Dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, dum, dum. Hey, dum, 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 dum. Live, we live, we live, we live, man. What up, everyone? Oh, man, I didn't change the number to 96. Bruh. I be messing up, bruh. I be messing up, bruh. There we go. Fix that. Is it gonna change it on my stream? Yes, it does. Good to go. What up, everyone? I hope all is well. I'm getting set up real fast. And while I do that, just want to say thank you, all of you, for taking the time to hang out with a brother while he tries to break some things down, you know? All right, where's this link? There we go. Come here now. Hey, copy link. Got it. Where's Discord? Don't switch. Got it. Down here. Paste this. Got it. But I do need to make a change on something. Hold up. I do need to make a change. I do. Need to make a change on one ting. Give me 1 second, y'all. My apologies. I got to change. I made a change in my description, and I want to make that edit before we get started. Don't want conflicting data points. So give me 1 moment, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Give me 1 moment. Show check. And Discord post. I have got to get my links working too. That's part of the hackathon this weekend, y'all. All right, and hit send. Bong. What's up, everyone? Hope everyone is well. My name is Jay Tragic Jeffrey, and this is Toxic Thoughts, where I dump my brain on the internet, letting you know how I feel, letting you know what decisions I'm making for our company, ToxicHustle. And in doing so, you know, it's pretty much how I work with my clients. Some of my clients actually listen to the streams. What's up, y'all? And it's kind of a way for all of us to be on the same kind of page, right? And then there's people that I work with in music and how I want them to be safe, right? Because we're getting to a place where it's going to get kind of gringy out here, like seriously gringy. And I don't know, man. It's one of those things where you start to question just how stupid does the system really think we are. You know, it's like, I know we're not exactly the most bright species on the planet, bro. But I would like to think that we have some type of intellect, you know. And myself as a copper-colored person, I tend to, you know, be underestimated in intelligence in most regards. But my people have been also in a summary regard. And that's not the way that we should be looking at life. Nobody is lesser than, especially when a system collapses and there's no corner that's not affected. So we're all in a playing field that is going to have us kind of struggling as a global entity, as a conglomerate, as a world. Let's go with world type beats, world vibes, right? Because everyone systemically has taken on the same business model. Everyone believes that the current model of economy and commerce is the way it needs to be and how it's always been and da da da. We don't know what it's always been because it was a way before and that got uprooted and greed takes over and people make the decisions to facilitate making sure their greedy mitts can get the money that they want. And when you're making the decisions on a level of what you want to say is a national level, right? So like this Federal Reserve is a central bank. So we're dealing with a centralized authority making decisions on behalf of everyone. And let me put this on mute. Sorry, y'all. That's annoying. Because my ADD can't deal with none of that. All right. So now what we're dealing with at a global level, we have these clowns in office, and it doesn't matter what side you're on, y'all. Like, for real. It doesn't matter what side you're on. But we have to start, as a businessman, I have to start looking at this. And I take pot shots. I'm taking pot shots at them. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I got to do business here. At the end of the day, we have to make sure it's not fun and games when you got to make payroll. And it's like these people are cavalier in what they're explaining to the general public as if we're all idiots. So we're going to break this down today so that we can kind of get past the BS that Jerome seems to want to fly. And it's not just Jerome. I pick at him and we did this art up for on behalf of the clownery, because that's what the Mav of Wall Street would typically do. And we're going to go through some of the Mav of Wall Street's videos. And the reason why is because these are the things that's been helping. What I've told you about Bitcoin, I've said that Bitcoin plays different than anything else. But it is a technology. It's just software. It installs on a hardware machine. It's like having a piece of the internet. It's no different than putting a server up and then put server code and then create a hosting company out of that. That's how this whole internet thing blopped up. Everybody could create websites. Well, now the financial structure is creating a new tendril that lays over that internet that handles finances. Banks have already invested in it. World governments are already investing in it. So it doesn't matter how we feel about it. Liquidity is moved into another industry. Now, that industry, as well as the immense money printing that has been happening, which I won't say money printing because they don't really print money, but money is, or credits are being created in a system and it was distributed throughout that system. That system spiked. All assets got bought. Those assets were already having a limited, scarce way of getting to you. Scarcity hit. Prices go up. Inflation shoots up. They have to do something about it. And then we know the numbers are bigger than what they are. So what does that mean? It means liquidity, or how cash flow is moving through the system, how we can potentially get paid at the bottom rung of this entire society, is going to get real scarce. And if you lived through 2007, 2008, I was already in Macon, Georgia. I was already in Macon having a hard time and seeing the what little businesses closing down, seeing the tobacco tobacco plant shut down, seeing the Air Force base shut down, seeing like all these things starting to close. The economy is drying up, like it's been grinding to a halt. Now there's certain segments of the economy that are moving. The way we have a bunch of people that are laying out the fiber in the network. So you're going to have network technicians. As long as you're going to have to keep this network moving, for the most part, there's a job there. Especially if we're talking about business broadband. Businesses are not going to piggyback off of Wi-Fi signals right now. We're going to piggyback off the infrastructure that's currently there. But if we're trying to, and we can't invest in businesses the way we were, which because there was lower, because the interest rates were so low, anybody could take loans, right? So what the Fed does, we're going to start discussing what we're dealing with the Federal Reserve. So first thing, what is the Federal Reserve, right? Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve System is the central banking system of the United States of America. It was created December 23rd, 1913, with the enactment of the Federal Reserve Act after a series of financial panics led to the desire for central control of the monetary system in order to alleviate financial crises. So, what's up, Rehan? So their initial job is supposed to alleviate financial crises. All right. But if you inflate an economy to benefit other people so that their stocks don't collapse and you keep ballooning the problem, which they've been doing since really the internet bubble popped. I mean, think about it. The internet bubble popped. That's 2001. Then you had a few years later, after it popped, you had a real estate collapse, right? Pop. Before that, think about it. You had the Miami collapse of the real estate market like in early 80s, 90s. So you've got to look at how many systemic collapses and monetary policies are broken from the system that's supposed to have this mandate to make sure that they're supposed to alleviate financial crisis. Not if you're in the pockets of lobbyists, unfortunately. I mean, you can't make sure that the companies are taken care of. It's like a dumpster fire mixed with robo techno that nobody listening to. Man, come on, Rehan. Tell them. Yeah, because this dumpster fire, you're supposed to be dealing with this entire system. You're supposed to be supposedly we're in control of it, but how do you control this? I am not so gross in my understanding that I can think I can control in the entire economy. We're basically Jerome, this guy right here, controls the entire economy with just the fluctuations of an interest rate. And we're going to talk about that and deal with that because we have to start understanding this quote unquote Federal Reserve that's in charge of monetary policy. So I was like, okay, they keep saying, I was listening to his video and he kept talking about the mandate of the Federal Reserve. So I was like, okay, what is the mandate of the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve System has been given a dual mandate. I've heard him say that over and over again. So he basically regurgitates the same shit we can see on Google. Pursuing the economic goals of maximum employment. Yep, I've heard him regurgitate that. And price stability. Price stability. So it must be prices of things or something. All right, whatever. It does this using a variety of policy tools to manage financial conditions that encourage progress toward its dual mandate objectives. In other words, conducting monetary policy. So I'm like, okay. What does that mean? What monetary policy do they conduct? So they're having so what is monetary policy? I didn't understand that. So we go to monetary policy. Monetary policy in the United States comprises of the Federal Reserve's actions. So that's policy. So I want y'all to understand something. They've been giving a mandate. So they're not a government agency. Number one. It's just a central banking system. It's a system of just a banking. It's a bunch of bankers. It's just a bunch of banks that are working together. So it's not even governmental. It is a corporation. And this corporation of corporations, right? Banks of banks. There's a central bank of banks. If a bank is a corporation, Then then this bank is a bank of banks, and then they all talk and have their bankeries, right? So they conduct monetary policy. That conducted monetary policy involves their actions. Period. So every action they do is monetary policy. So let's deal with that. Let that sink in first. They're telling you straight up, off the cuff, that this reserve, has a mandate, maximum employment as they can, but price stability. They do this. To do this, they do it with conducting monetary policy. So they make it sound like it's legal or make it sound like it's judicial, right? And then that monetary policy really is just about their actions and communications to promote maximum employment. So any actions so anything they do and anything they say to you to promote prices, to promote maximum employment, stable prices, and moderate low-term interest rates. So wait. Yeah, but Rayhan, I get what you're saying, but I don't deal with it in the form of colorism, right? Because if their policy is running over their own people, it really doesn't matter what color it is, because this one system has no color lines. So I'm not even going to worry about that cap. Like, that separation cap don't mean nothing if the tidal wave of the tsunami swarms across the entire globe. It doesn't matter if you're in a jungle. It don't matter if you're in the desert. It don't matter if you're on a dog sled eating mukluk. I don't care if you're in the Caribbean island with some guava, some mango, and some curry goat. I don't care if you're in the Dominican Republic eating mofongo. This entire policy is a central bank, but remember that bank is also in the European Union. So this centralized authority globally is controlling monetary policy at the end of the day, don't we got to pay taxes? We got to pay taxes. We got to pay bills. I'm just concentrating on paying taxes and bills at this point. So I need to know how they affect me, because at the end of the day, I can either allow the tsunami to wash over me and just not understand I could have dodged, or I could have seen the warning signs early, have my own signals, collecting data, to be able to give me some pre-treatments to know, hey, do I want to go farther inland, or do I need to go out further to sea or be on the sea so I can just basically head towards it so that I can hit the crest? Yeah, Rayhan. Caesar gets his cut always. Give unto Caesar what Caesar's. I just concentrate on what we've been mandated under heaven, right? So their goal is to promote maximum employment. You can't do that all the time, especially when you have to make sure there's stable prices of goods and products, and commodities, really making sure stock price, right now it's supposed to be commodities. The stable prices is supposed to mean that commodity prices and food indexes, everything kind of like trying to manage the whole global economic system. But the thing is that they started worrying about prices of stock market stuff. After the last recession, right? What did they do? They went ahead and bailed out the banks. To bail out the banks, they had to be able to buy equity as in assets of corporations. In getting into corporate assets, they were now in the I can buy anybody on the stock exchange beats. So now I have to care about the stock exchange because I'm holding my assets as a fiduciary element that I'm printing this money. I'm doing it with these assets that are out here floating around looking crazy. So, but I can do it with anything. I can print and then give it to the companies and buy these assets and keep so I'm going to be the person of last resort, right? The buyer of last resort. If nothing else, I'll buy. But what if you're buying it and it's still way too, like they're buying basically still premium. And they said, okay, we're going to stop. We're not going to buy no more. And we're going to let this stuff fall off our balance sheet. Now they've been buying all these toxic assets. Now all of they've been saying things and they've been doing things. And this is part of the discussion is like yesterday they had their big talk. And he kept saying over and over and over again, everything is cool. Everything is good. There's nothing wrong. We got a strong economy. We have strong, everything is strong. Strong. Bozo. No, Bozo. It can't be. You can't even lie to me. You can't lie to nobody out on these streets. Right? So it's what they say and what they do. Fed speak was one of the things that I had been hearing a long time. And as you start listening to economics and listening to what's being said, you start to wrap your head around what they're saying, what they mean they say, and what's the effect of what they mean from what they say. It's kind of like one of those. It's not what they say that hurts you. It's what they didn't say that could hurt you. And it's you reading into that Fed speak and hearing what they're telling you. Like, hey, we're going to slow down demand. That's big. In other words, because we had to loosen our federal our monetary policy and give you lower interest rates. That allows for you to have growth, right? Because now businesses can take on debt cheap. And to service that debt, it's cheaper. So they lowered the interest rates. The debt got cheap. Corporations take on debt. They're able to grow their business faster. Everybody's happy. Thing is, you got to keep lowering that and keep trying to stimulate an economy that has other problems at its root that are falling through the cracks. Say stop dancing around the conversation. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I've got to move something on my screen. Okay. So now that we know what the mandate is and their Fed speak, and like he said, how they're tap dancing around everything. My thing is, okay, so their vehicle to control things, as I said, is interest rates. So what does that mean to us personally in our personal bank accounts? So that's easy. Higher interest rates. You made sure you locked in your interest rates early, right? If not, make sure you're not on a variable interest rate. At this point, you're not taking on any new credit. So now, if you were thinking about selling your home, you got to go buy a home. And you're already seeing the prices for those homes. So either you know where you're going to go to a place where you can actually cake off the house sale that you got to do. Maybe you have to take, how hot is your market? So maybe you've got to take a little snitzel on what you thought your profit margin is going to be from that Zillow number, right? So now you're taking a little bit of a profit cut because everybody's taking a profit cut because they just want to get out. So what does it mean for your personal bank account? Those higher interest rates mean you might not want to go jump into a new loan right now. Or you might jump in right now because you're scared they're going to get higher. But we're already starting to see the slowdown and that the prices on homes are starting to snitzel in some of the hot areas. So maybe that's not going to happen. So we're already seeing a bit of a stagflating event where we're starting to see a slowdown. And then you don't see productivity increasing. So now you've in no new real job sectors. So everything's kind of cooled off. And the new technology, which will be your blockchain-based ledgers, well, that's still speculative. That's still a new field. That's still a new investment cycle. And that investment cycle is going to be running bogus and bullshit for the next 10 years until we have some real world business transactions going on. Real world gaming, real world ledgers that are running real world transactions for real world machines doing real world ish. And that's just the truth of it. So with the raising of interest rates right now, I, as a personal person, I'm not going to sit there and try to sell off my home or try to do any of that. Then let's look at it as a business. As a business respect, I'm not trying to take on no extra business credit. Because now my credit at my, like now if I'm taking a loan for something, I'm going to be screwed. So now I'm not going to go hiring. I'm not jumping into the hiring. So now you're going to see a slowdown in the hiring. Because me as an owner, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be randomly just jumping on and hiring whoever Bobo right now. Now I've got to be real. So now remember when everybody could go to a job and jump in a job and they're like, oh, I can just get money. Like there were chefs that were getting $100,000 and would left their businesses to go back to work in corporate buildings. Well, now those corporate buildings are closing down. Now those chefs have given up their businesses. Dude, I hope they find other work. And I've been working with other businesses. I've been working with other corporations. So I look out for my clients. Like one of my clients, I keep telling them like, hey, stay in the lane that you're going now, direct to home, because it just makes sense for her. This is why I cooled off on it. Even though the creativity in it is wild, the collapse will show the low ground post dust settle. I mean, the high ground. Yep. Yeah. The mandate of the Federal Reserve. Oh, check out this quote. And it's funny you said that. This is another, it actually is in line to the quote I have, which is the Mark Cuban, right? What did Mark Cuban say? Mark T-I-D. Here we go. Fortune. Let's see. Mark Cuban. He's an Ethereum maximalist, right? He jumps all over the place. Mark Cuban says the crypto crash reminds him of Warren Buffett's advice: when the tide goes out, you get to see who's swimming naked. So the people who have way too much debt or are trying to service too much debt, when those interest rates go up, like, understand business credit is just like your credit card. So but it's also locked into these variable interest rates. So your business credit or the servicing of your credit can go up. So now it might start eating at your profit margins. So now to keep servicing that debt, what do you have to now do? I have to lay off people, get salary back so I can take some of that salary out to now move it to pay off the credit. This is why, as a business, I got to sit there. And that's why I've been telling everybody since last year. If y'all remember, I said last year, June, July, Bitcoin goes to this. If you were with me last June, we were going through it. It was China FUD. And I was like, yo, Bitcoin just plays a certain way. All crypto plays a certain way. But then you have overall cycles. This overall cycle is a cycle of everybody kept taking debt, padding it. You've got so many people that got so much debt. And we're talking margin debt on the stock exchanges. We're talking credit debt. We're talking home debt. And that's ballooning out of control right now. And it's going to pop in a vicious way. And unfortunately, this debt, remember, was becoming securities. And if this debt is a security and I'm laying people off and they cannot pay their mortgages, what happens? Didn't we just have that? Well, guess what, y'all? Did they learn from their experience of 2007, 2008 of the great financial crisis, which was derivatives, those assets, backed securities, tied to derivatives on the open market for sale across the globe, right? That was what it was. Do you know what they did now? Well, they tied student loans to that. Aren't they like doing all the student loan forgiveness stuff? So what happens to derivatives that were backed against those loans that you've now forgiven and just made them go poof? Didn't that default? Okay. Also what we have, and students have to get jobs to be able to pay back their loans. So of course that's a problem. Car loans, the car title loans, those are derivatives now. The car, you now got to pay more gas in, the gas that you can't even get to work. So now you're going to either give up the car or just like, screw it. I'm just going to get me a job online and say, Evan, I'm not doing it no more. right? So those cars, people just default on those cars, and those cars are tied to what? The securities that they were buying. Or somebody was buying because they went up. But guess what? They're if you have to have a job for the car, or if you don't need the car, well, you're just letting it default and go. Bye, I don't care, right? So that's what's happening. If I got to make a decision on feeding my family or needing to drive someplace, I'm going to make the decision on feeding my family if I can still get paid online. So the tide running out, these companies have way too much credit. And now to service that credit, they're going to be underwater. They're going to start laying off. That means, wait, you're going to see unemployment go up. They're talking about unemployment is going to tick up only 4.1% by 2020 something. It's like 2024, or something like that. So, but that doesn't say anything. They're talking about the average mean. That basically means it could tick up to 11% and then drop back to 4% the following year. But when you run off the rolls, you run off the rolls. I got laid off in 2016. I had 11 weeks of unemployment. After the unemployment, I dropped off the rolls. Did I get a new job? No. I'm off the rolls though. Unemployment's dropping. But hey, I still ain't made no money to pay my bills. Hello. What about me though? Gone. Poof. Vamoose, son of a H to the, right? So what we got to do is move in and out of this bullish because what they're saying and what they've signaled through their talk yesterday was, hey, we are going to collapse this economy. Straight up. We have to crush demand. Crush demand. Not just get rid of demand. We need to crush it. To crush it means all demand needs to stop. Credit demand's going to stop. Of course. That means if I have no extra money, I'm not buying things. So maybe I'm not buying electronics. Maybe I'm not buying shoes. Maybe I'm not buying clothes. Maybe I'm not buying these. I'll live without this for another year. I'll live without that for another day. What happens if I got to make a decision between some meals and medication? You see what I'm saying? We're going into we're going into a very strict slowdown. The same one we saw before. The signs are all there. Executives at banks are getting let go. Real estate brokers are being let go. These are layoffs. Coinbase just laid off 1,100 people. We have layoffs everywhere, especially when you see layoffs in the financial industry. I was in the financial industry. I worked for a private bank. I was watching them lay off people. They had found any excuse to get rid of people. And that was back in 2002, 2003. You see how early that was? And that's why I left and came to Georgia the first time. Went back to New York after I learned the web development, only to see that web development was going to potentially disappear. That companies didn't need web designers on staff all the time. They could outsource it online. And now they just had project managers that were just getting workers from outside on these small websites that they could just outsource the work. Now we have those websites. It's called Fiverr.com. It's called Freelancer.com. It's called Upwork.com. If I need to get work done, I can go to a website and get somebody for $25. Hell, I can get it for $5, depending on what the service work is. So what I have to do is start thinking about how I make money differently then. We're going to get into some ways to get through this towards the end. So what does this mean for retirement plans? Right? Stock market has to go down. Hold on one second. Where is my other? think it's here. Nope, here it is. Boom. All right. Let me just scroll down. Give me 1 second. I want to get my notes. Make sure I stay to the course. All right. So, Social Security, overall job market. So, retirement plans and Social Security. Social Security cannot keep up with inflation. Evidently, I believe there was an article new that somebody went, I think it's 8% in the news. But Social Security, 8% likely due to right. So they're going to raise it next year. Okay, yo, are you serious? All right, so they're going to raise it next year to 8%. Think about that. It's not truly 8% yet. Right? For them. They're saying it's 8%. We know the actual inflation rate, according to Shadow Stats. Let's pull up Shadow Stats. No. Y'all playing with people's lives for real. Like, I didn't even realize that. I thought it was effective immediately. I didn't read the articles. I figured I'd talk to y'all in real time about it. But if that's the bobo they're pulling out, hold on. Yeah, this is Shadow Stats. Go to inflation numbers. Boom. Okay. Look, are you serious? Look how high this is. This is 1990. This is at 1990s. This is the official CPI, right? So here's the official CPI number down here. Here is where it would have been if they used the old numbers from 1990, right? This is if they use the 1980 numbers, we'd be up here, closer to, might as well say 17%. Are you serious? So you mean to tell, again, now go back to what this article just told you. In 2023, they're going to give our grandparents, our parents, 8%. When we're sitting at 17 right now. Are you kidding me? Look, I take care of a parent who has Alzheimer's. I can tell you right now, my mom did not plan for this. And nursing, she didn't plan for $24 an hour nursing care per hour. It's expensive, man. It's expensive. And then she still had mortgage, still got all this other stuff, still got to offload property, still got to manage her daggone accounts, which are doing, hey, just set it and forget it. Her bank accounts dwindling the hell down with this damn market. And they can do what they can do, but the market's gone down. Did they flip it into an inverse for her immediately fast? Of course not. Why would they do that for her lowly little bit of money? She's not in the private bank where they would make sure to do that for her. So what I have to do is I have to be my own central bank, just like you do. Unfortunately, we cannot, I guess it's fortunately, because we never really trusted anybody with our commerce anyway. Regardless, if you took us from the water and put us in and we moved to Tulsa, we still had Wall Street. We still knew how to handle commerce because commerce was based off of earnings and revenue. And whether or not you were a necessity, if you sucked, you failed. Nobody saved your ass. And that's where we've been coddled. This extra debt allowed people who are wasteful with money to fail multiple times. Oh, let me blow $100,000 here. Oh, you gave me a loan over there. Oh, I did this. I dissolved that over here and I failed over here, but I'm going to do this again and I'm going to do it again and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to fail and I'm going to fail. I'm going to do it again. Well, okay, we can't keep failing. with this much capital that just materializes out of nowhere. It's got to come out of some utility. It's got to come out of you have to do something. You have to make something. It's based off of energy. And you see what they're doing. They're turning it into this Green New Deal. I don't need you to prove that I can make energy. And my energy isn't necessarily necessant on human labor anymore. I don't need your physical strength no more. We moved from that industrial age when we were industrial people, when we were physically doing shit. We jumped into the communication age in the 80s, y'all. That's why people got after okay, I was in the military. I was in the Marines. My staff sergeant told me to buy Microsoft at $5 a share. I bring this up all the time, and I do it for a reason, because I learn a new value on that statement that I make every time. I learn a new value to it. And the value I learned was I remembered the fact that when we were doing inventory, we were using Microsoft, but we were using a network. So we would do inventory and it went to headquarters. It wasn't so much Microsoft. It's the fact that Microsoft had software that allowed you to have a network of computers store data on personnel, information that can be moved in and out across networks, across this internet. And of course, they needed this new internet to flourish, because now they could do scale warfare and just use this new Wi-Fi GPS signal. Rather than having to rely on all these backpack shit, I can now carry these things in my hand. I didn't understand what Microsoft meant. It didn't mean Microsoft itself. It meant the industrialization of computation. We were in the communication age, y'all. And in that age, anything physical began to be destroyed. Look at Circuit City. Look at Crazy Eddie, practically insane. Look at the wall. Look at the what was before? Kmart, right? Woolworths, Macy's. These physical malls. Look at malls. Malls. Oh God. Abandoned malls. Come on, man. Let's do this. Let's do the damn thing. Let's do the damn thing. Bang. I used images like this for some of my beats. If you look at my beats, I use images and I turn them into like cartoony looking designs. These are all these malls across the United States empty, or across the world empty. Y'all, we can sit there and point fingers at any other country and talk about their tofu drag projects. And I'm sitting there looking at all this real estate investment that is doing nothing but dying. All this real estate wasted because they couldn't figure out another hustle for what they already put up. So they put up a bunch of shell buildings their damn self. So let's look at ourselves as well for the Tofu Drag American project, which is called strip malls. When we transferred over to the digital age, why did I have to go to a mall when I could visit my friends on Facebook or MySpace? Facebook's already created a marketplace. Amazon will deliver straight to your door on a subscription, so you don't even need to go nowhere. I don't need to go to a supermarket and deal with anybody in their nasty habits. When Mobb Deep said, "There's a war going on outside, no one is safe. You can run, but you can't hide from these streets that we done took. You walking with your head down, scared to look. You shook. Because ain't no such things as halfway crooks." Well, there ain't no halfway businessmen neither, because they're all crooks. They're all pirates, but they don't know how to maintain economy. They don't know how to maintain shit. Let's just build it. Hey, I built it. Yay. I built a building. I built a building. Yay. So the hell what? Can you maintain the building? Can you pivot on the business? Can you maintain the jobs that you just destroyed? No, sucker. You can't do nothing but keep doing the same stupid shit that everybody else, and then mint this Ponzi scheme and put it across multiple countries in the act of diplomacies. Really? That's what's hot on the street? That's what we doing out here? That's what we teaching our kids? Really, son? Really, son, shine? Come on, shine. They ain't going nowhere, Rayhan. The same pirate families will still be at the top. They've got sucker ducks that'll just take the fall while they sit back on an island somewhere and watch the world burn. At the same time, I'm my brother's keeper. And I'm sitting there going, yo, y'all, look, the pivot is real. But I've been through this pivot before. This pivot ain't a new game. In fact, you just got to leverage the same game. The game ain't changed. The thing is, your gross domestic product did. Okay, so what's your gross domestic product if it's not manufacturing? And if it's not manufacturing, then what is it? What sells the most in the world? Is it not? I'm just saying. Ain't we the vibe? Ain't we the mood? Ain't we the jam? Ain't we the food? Ain't we the nigga giving you groove? My nigga, I'm trying to making you move. Come on, man. This whole freaking game. These people have no passion because they think they systemically can mumble bullshit and it's going to keep flying in the face of brokedom. Broken glass everywhere. We're going back to the 80s. Don't push me. 'Cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. New York, 80s, baby. Hey. 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 Ain't that looking kind of like what we dealing with now? Ain't that kind of like what we dealing with now? Now, what we dealing with now? Ain't that kind of what we dealing with now? Ain't that kind of what we dealing with now? Ain't that kind of what we dealing with now? Now. What sells during the pain of atrocity? Drugs, alcohol, and prostitution. Where is our drugs? Well, we know where they're at. They've been popping it in the clubs and celebrating it for years. Where is the sex? We just call it OnlyFans. This way, you don't get no prostitution running up and down the streets no more. Now, it's legal, right? On an internet with hardware that nothing deletes. Everything stays forever. You know? Yeah. This is the same game runs in cycles. But what is this cycle? Where is the tech? You see, what we were doing was, through this age, we were transitioning from industrial to communication, digital/communication. Digital, the infrastructure, the hardware needs to get running into every one of these offices. Back then, you remember they had modems, all that noise shit, right? They needed the hardware. They need to be able to get these hard lines in place, matrix type beats. Now the hard lines are in place. So these hard lines are what? Your broadband. Now the broadband is where? In every home. And now these homes have what? They've got Wi-Fi. So now Wi-Fi can do the Internet of Things. You can now broadcast these things everywhere, but everything can become a thing. Sneakers, watches, TVs, radios, phones, websites, servers like Bitcoin. It's just a server. It's just the thing that spits out data for others to read and spit out their data. We're in an internet where the machine makes money, not you. So how the hell do you survive? Ask Best Buy. Because they were a website, then they went physical after they crushed Circuit City, and then Amazon said, you know what? We're just going to be a warehouse that happens to have some software on top of our hardware. How about that? Done. Then we're going to license out our software to everybody, call it Amazon Web Services, and destroy all the other hosting companies and make it $5. Done. Oh, then we're going to just pillage every open source software, put it on there, and then charge a fee. Bong. Y'all, this is real estate. I take a piece of hardware, a building. I make it pretty. I put some code on it. People come in and out of it, and I can either put a commerce to do something. I put a form on that website to be able to get a subscription. I can put a shopping thing on there to be able to sell products and or services. I can put a contact form just to be able to contact if they want to get high-end marketing services. I can do a lot. That changes you walking down the street to interact. The physicality is gone. Everybody that was in the medium of that got destroyed. Ask the operator when you used to push 0. Ask the messenger boy that was riding up and down just to deliver a piece of mail. Like a letter type beats. Now that you don't even need that. You send an email. Done. Destroyed it. Now we just send text message. This destroying even want to talk a phone. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, send me a message. Why are you calling me? That's what got destroyed. Now think about it. Media has changed. Now, if rapper guy over here, rapper, wanted to be in the industry, started talking to producers in the early, let's say it was not early, let's say early 90s, middle 90s, let's say middle 90s, right? Back then, the low end guy was still trying to hit me with a $1,000 beat. Then when I went to New York, when I got back from the military, let's say it's around 96 or so, hardware is starting to get into my radar. AOL is on my radar. And then I go to my homeboy and I got to now get an MPC Excel 2000 Excel. I do all the modifications on it because he kind of like spits a little bit of the hustle and like what I can do. But then I found the internet and I was like, well, I don't need your help. I'll just download this stuff online, and I figured it out. So then I figured out how to do all my modifications, only to find out that if you got a couple pads, you could press it, and there was these new thing called Contact, and it basically was a sampler, and I was like, oh, to screw this, I'm not getting hardware no more. I stopped going to the studio because I was like, yo, everybody's going to be making beats on a computer. And this is just me talking my cakewalk shit. This is cakewalk before they became Sonar, before they became Nuendo type beats. So I was like, wait a minute. Hey, it's not Pro Tools, but hey, I can record something. I can get a Creative Labs sound card, put that in there, and then boom, I got sound. I can inject my MPC into my damn machine, and now I'm not even limited to my sample time anymore. I was like, wait, why do I need the MP? I'm keep limiting my samples to these chops, but I like it. But you know what? Now I'm gonna do this over here. Then there was Reason, and then like I said, Sonar. Then there was Nuendo, and then FL Studio came out, and I started messing with that. And then when FL Studio came out with the record audio feature, I lost my damn mind and did my first album, which I haven't put online yet. And then then I found out about, I was in between, I think, Nuendo and Cubase. I think I was like in that Cubase to window phase, like Cubase VS, something SX or something MX. It was something. I was like bouncing between these and I was getting annoyed. And then I went to Studio One and I never left. Even now to this day, I ain't left. I mess around with everything else, but to build out song structures, for me, it's just too easy. To be able to bounce things to a bus is just too easy. So I'm watching the tools get more simplified. And this is, as I'm watching this all go down, my tools for making music videos are getting easier and easier to make and use. So as I'm doing this, I got things like this showing up on my radar. No. Well, hold on. I think it was After Effects or Premiere. Hey. Adobe Team Project, how to create, collaborate creatively. 2 weeks ago. Adobe Stocks, no. Revolving Door, no. Frame.io and updates. Collaboration platform to its million. So Frame.io. April 2022. So they made some updates to Premiere. Share work in projects with unlimited number of reviewers anywhere in the world. Get frame accurate comments, annotations from inside After Effects and Premiere without leaving their timeline. Transfer technology back and forth. So basically, you can do work and projects, work with a camera to cloud. So now imagine I'm at a location. I'm shooting at a location. It's getting uploaded. My editor is editing it in real damn time. And I have shots right then while I'm setting up something else. I can see the shots all in one. Yes, Johnny Streams, Presonus Studio One. What's up? And that's all of these companies are building, I guess we'd say marketplaces from within themselves. So from within your software that used to be just by itself, they have to have value for you to stay around and pay for their subscriptions, i.e. ToxicHustle subscriptions, right? When my subscriptions go out, it's because I'm giving you business data. It's because I'm showing you my business data in real time. It's because I'm showing you how I'm creating projects and what I'm working on. It's because soon I'll open up the project manager and people will be able to get paid to do things like mixing and mastering or submitting tracks and being able to earn points. Right? Like, why can't a mixing it? Like, me and Johnny used to talk about this. Johnny, remember? Hey, Johnny, I'm glad you're here. Remember when we used to talk about the fact that we wanted to be able to get mixing engineers to actually get paid? Well, here, now we can get paid. Right? Because like I was telling before, like, if you see what I'm doing, right, boom. With me collecting all of the data that I'm doing out here with CD Baby, I'll be able to track at a, the same minute level what's going on with any of the tracks that's going on. The thing that we've been talking about, Johnny, for years, and Johnny can attest to everything that I'm talking about. So y'all can be out here and can realize I'm not talking crap. If you're watching this on the replay, you'll have to look at the chat symbol, the chat timeline, and actually see Johnny's in there. Johnny's one of my oldest homeboys. Like I met him when I was in Macon. So like all the stuff that I tell y'all about how hard it was in Macon, how crazy it was, how we were making these beats and making doing our it was all at my studio. Like when I got arrested and like how I had to hand my studio to one of the homeboys that I was recording, and just so that I would have equipment when I came back out to finish their album. Like I was homeless. I was eating church's chicken. Like when I tell y'all I use PayPal. Web 2.0 was just a hustle of, hey, I can use PayPal, use this thing called MySpace, talk to people, and I could sell them stuff. The same thing I was doing for people in Macon, like making their graphics and teaching their cousins how to use Photoshop. And making sure they can get Photoshop on their machines and how they, and get everything set up and then be able to do their own graphics, like not just do it and try to manipulate and just keep taking money, but like show them how to make their own labels. And I knew in time, the royalties, everybody would be on the same level of being a label. If you earn royalties for your catalog, you are a label. Let me say this shit again. If you are earning royalties, as simple as give it to CD Baby, let them distribute you every the hell where. And then with that idea, now look at what you can do. If you're looking at this content ID, that is my hardest hustle for 2022, 2023. Not hard as in it's hard to do. When I say hard, I'm going hard to the paint. This is my signature. The fact that they watermark my signature and anywhere it's used, if I give it to let me put it to you this way. If I give it to a guy who has a show and I do his intro and I make sure his intro is long enough for that to actually matter, and my music's in there and he gets 1,000 views every single video, he puts out maybe 5 videos a week, right? You do that math. Do that for the month. Do that for a year. Look at your royalties again. This is a different hustle. You have a different muscle now. If you're a producer and that's all you do, Johnny, Mr. I love hardware and software, the damn software jockey that I'm looking for the next damn plugin every 5 damn minutes, sir. And Johnny knows what I'm talking about. You know that, son. Now you make your beats, you make it into an instrumental package. You upload it to CD Baby. You take those things and you just landmine it everywhere. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Whatever they do with it, do with it. You just start looking at your royalties. Sit back and collect my props. And as you can see, it's not just there that you're going to start seeing your royalties. There's royalties in Facebook. That's going to mean I'm looking at that. I'm going to right now see Spotify is dope. Don't get me wrong. But y'all, YouTube hustle is better because why? They got ads. It's the second largest search engine on the freaking planet. And they've got, basically, they're trying to be like Netflix / Hulu, right? They've got content, they're buying content, they're grabbing content, they're bringing that money. Google got money, so follow the money. I'm not trying to make my life hard. I like easy money. I like money to come to me. I don't want to run after that ish. Come on now, I'm not chasing no oats in different area codes. Come on now. Right. So like even MG on one of the videos, he gave a Toxic Hustle a shout out for all the plugins we bought. Like, I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to make videos where I'm one of the things I'm opening up. Toxic Hustle, like Johnny knows how I record, and Johnny has been in the recording side. Like he's in videos where me, Johnny, and Ty had just done like Ty's music videos and some. So like I'm opening up. Now we can digitally work together. Like now I can work with Johnny and say, yo, if you don't make deadline, I'm passing it off to somebody else. And now I can sit there and say, remember I told you, Johnny, I was like, yo, I'm going to get a system in place where I can get all the stuff that we're talking about so that we can actually get product out and start getting catalog out. And then I'm going to put projects up. And now I ain't got to rely on your billionaires to motherfucking me there. If I get a bunch of producers and a bunch of people that want to get their mixing on, especially if we automate this, like I want to make this so damn cringy, like literally isotope plugins, all that. I'm going to show y'all all of the back end. I am automating the hell out of this. I already done this test. I did this test through the recession. I did this test with my mom as far as I was dealing with her Alzheimer and dementia. Like she was living with me, and it was hard. And this is the only hustle I had that with the limited amount of time, I couldn't do no calls. I couldn't work with nobody. I had just X amount of hours that when she went to bed at 9 o'clock, I maybe had an hour to get something done. Hoping she didn't like sunset and still think she was working for the evening because she was a nurse. So she was always looking for a patient. So now what I'm looking at is saying, hey, if I'm taking my cash flow, right, and I'm buying this software, and then I can take the software or like I'm only drums I'm using right now are going to be like, I'm doing an entire project, right? This is a test. It's a proof of concept test because ToxicHustle at the end of the day is research and development. Proof of concept test. I bought all the stuff from MG. I'm going to take his drum loops and everything else, throw it through all of these dope things as far as to make the songs I want to make. So not just try to repackage and sell his. No, I want to take the stuff, break down, make real good songs, like instrumentals, get those rolled out so that I can use them for commercials. So upload it to CD Baby immediately. Then start recording my albums or recording singles, recording whatever on top of those songs from my album. Now that I can start concentrating on that since I have my ways of earning, not just in the stock market, but like, so I've been earning in the stock, I'll show y'all. But not just earning there, but earning in multiple other places, especially earning in these services that I want to roll out as far as like being able to do graphics for folks, get people CD covers done, like getting work done. People need to get their product out. And we don't, and a record label is just a facilitation of being able to get somebody from the studio, get their content done there, and get it to a place where eyeballs and ears can experience it. And before it was the radio station, well, now we have better waves. We just call them Wi-Fi instead of radio. As long as they can stream you, and especially YouTube, then damn, you've got everyone. There's a YouTube app on every phone, damn near every phone on the planet. And if your music is on there, thank you, CD Baby, then all I do is put a link. I point to them and I can show you if you're on CD Baby already, this is the trick to finding your stuff. Go to YouTube, right? Then I'm going to use my name. Oops, hold on, TRA. Right? And then say CD Baby. Because it's in there, bang. And there you go. Now, there is all my tracks. So then all you do is click this. You'll click that link. And there is all your albums. Now I can post this. And these links give you revenue on this side of the equation. That's why I said this is why, Johnny, I was bugging you and I bug you and Ty to get your catalog into CD Baby. Do you understand now why I've been saying, yo, y'all don't understand how different I feel now? I feel so different because I don't, as a producer and as a rapper, I'm going to talk disrespectful in both regards, okay? As a producer, I'm going to speak from that hat for a second. Rappers, I don't effing need you. I don't need you for shit. I can take my shit. I can make a CD. I can put it out. And guess what? There's many infomercials, commercials out there. There's plenty of drug companies that'll just ride my beat and give me damn promotion. And all I have to do is have it play. And I'm going to still get royalties. And I don't need you. That doesn't mean I don't want you around. It just means I don't need you. So come off your high horse. You want something for free? Here's the beat. I got you now. Right? Now, as a rapper, producers, there's plenty of y'all in the sea and I can get whatever I need and I don't really need you neither. I can go out here and make my own albums. I did 2 of them. Tragic Sacrifice was me sacrificing the producer in me. Not no weirdo cult. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's not no weirdo Illuminati-ish. It's something real simple. Tragic Sacrifice. I tell you, my entire premise is is Toxic Hustle literally is an R&D department. So boom. This volume 2 and volume 1. These both of them were me saying, okay, I gotta get an album out. I gotta, because I was like, both albums were me getting out of the situation. My Johnny was there when I had lost my daughter, and like how hollow like I became. And that first album, Tragic Sacrifice Volume 1, was me dealing with that. Tragic Sacrifice Volume 2 was me dealing with the loss of like the woman I was actually gonna marry. The first woman I was thinking about, I'm really, really marrying heavy, right? So my thing is that as a rapper, I put aside all of any of my production stuff to get my voice out. And right now what you're seeing is the revenue that I've earned in royalties based off me shucking off the producer side. But on the other side of that equation, the producer side of me tested out this and started testing out getting royalties on this side of the equation. I don't believe that CD Baby can do splits, but did we ever worry about that before, Johnny? What did we do? Hey, you got the MP3, right? I got the MP3, right? Okay, here, you upload it on your end. I'll upload it on my end and promote your ish and get your money, little duffel bag boy. Right? It may not be the same as the numbers I'm doing on this side, but for now, at least it's something. They'll find either my landmine or your landmine for the song, which is like on every album that somebody's featured anyway. But yeah, can you do splits? I put y'all in the songs. Now, does that royalty split off to you from that? I don't think so. But that's some future-ish that could be something that blockchain fixes later down the line. Right? Which is, that's, even though CD Baby can't do it, it doesn't mean that in the future I can't go back and say, hey, we'll work splits off into these new projects or these new avenues and build it into the system. Right? So we can actually then look at it this way and say, all right, well, in the future, for these future projects, hold on, where is it? Toxic Hustle Media. No, Toxic Hustle Project. Was it here? Support Pro. Newsroom, CD Baby, music tutorial. Here we go. No, that's the studio config. I did not create the projects yet, did I? Did I? Nope, I didn't. It'll be similar to this project tracker, where basically I'll have projects, tasks for those projects. Projects would be like albums or songs, and those songs can be tied to albums in the future, but the projects would be like each individual song will be a project, and in there's multiple tasks like mixing, mastering, and everything else. So what you end up doing is you're building out the same functional workflow you would have had inside your business, but since it's out here, what's the difference, right? You're still doing the same fundamental business. We're just taking what we've seen in the music industry and we're just pulling it back and saying, if y'all were nothing more than spreadsheets, and our spreadsheets got mad smart now, and now these spreadsheets are mad cheap, and now because of automation, I can download this data and throw it to a website called Bubble. Like when y'all look at Toxic Hustle, I mean, I'm gonna show you a little sham. This right here, the icon you see in that corner is the bubble symbol. Right there, Toxic Hustle. right? So it has its own system of building an application. So you can use Bubble and build a UI, and like I'm building a data-driven system here on Bubble instead of using WordPress. Because remember I told you, Johnny, for like back in, like, Johnny remembers like when we did Ty's music video, right? We were working on Ty's music video and I was working with WordPress and I was telling them there was an idea I had back then, and that was 2010. Yeah, 2010. It's like, thanks, Johnny. 2010, these streets is mine. So it was around 2010, and we were doing we were working on the video and we were having a discussion. And I said, yo, you know what would be really dope? If when we're marketing on social media, if we had some type of system to be able to cue the weather, get the weather information, find out where it's raining on like a weekend, and then promote into those areas our music, because we know they're indoors and we know they ain't got no place to go and they're probably on the social media platform, and we can catch them eyeballs and ears right then. Oh, y'all got new. Oh, they've gotten trying to get pretty since the last time I've been here. Okay, so now what did I show you? I showed you Bubble, right? B-U-B-B. Bow. Bubble, right? Yeah. Then if I wanted to do something with Google, hey. Then if I wanted to do something, let's say my customer has MailChimp. Bow. Okay, let's say my customer has something like HubSpot, because you know they fancy. HubSpot, right? They fancy. Bow. Bump. What if I gotta manage their social media profiles? Bump to bump. Boo. Just saying. See, there's a lot over here with the automation, and the fact that this is free, that you can install this on a server on your own. Well, if you start figuring out the fact that, hey, machines have to make money, and it's what code is sitting on those machines that can make you money, well, there you go. It's about services. Remember, Johnny, when we sat there and we were like, yo, this little girl was on MySpace and she was managing the social media profiles of people online. And I was telling Johnny, I was telling Ty, I was like, yo, this little girl made her father retire from his job to come work for her because she was making too much money to manage. Because she was getting like $1 million. Managing MySpace profiles. Are you serious? And she was young. So that was the hustle I saw. That's why I said, yo, we got to understand, we don't know nothing. These kids have to figure out how to make money through a system because there's no other opportunity. The only thing they've had is analog. So I've been watching how they've been maneuvering with the analog, and it's sick. But now, what is this transition? Our transition is where we have to look at what the GDP from this economic outlook we have. The GDP right now is telling us that there's no domestic product. Our sales are going to be automated, right? So let's say if you are in the customer service business. Salesforce Unlimited Edition adds AI automation. So now Salesforce, and hold on. Just showing you some stuff. I'm telling you, what I'm showing you is how I maneuver through a room, show you how to move through a room full of vultures. Industry's greedy. It needs to be taken over. Right? I'm getting you back for what you did for the Cold Crush. Right? Pay us like you owe us for the way that you hold us. Pay us like you owe us for all the ways that you hold us. So talk more bucks. Come on, man. So Salesforce is going to automate the whole sales initiative. We're talking about voice. We're talking about video sales agents. We're talking about think about it this way. This has already been tested, right? And I'm going to show you how greasy this is about to be. Boom. It's Chick-fil-A. Remote drive-through. I know I spelled that all wrong. It's all right. Boom. Check this out. Hey. Boom. Look. Linda, look. She's in a tablet, Linda. She's in a tablet at the drive-thru. And you see the fan. She's at home, Linda. She is not So what happens if I digitize this whole thing? And she looks real. So let's do Unreal 3D. Unreal 3D? I think it's 5, right? Unreal 5? Yeah. Give me the images. Yeah. Give me my tools. Yeah. Give me it for the last month. Okay. So like I say, what's going to happen when you're not going to know where the character and the animation ends and begins? Because metahumans are coming. If you didn't know, now you know. METAHUMAN. I think it's even copywritten. Unreal Metahuman. You're getting phased out. What happens when you get in that screen and it's this, but better? It is real. Just saying. But it's Unreal. So that means you can learn how to make these things. Now, y'all know I love giving y'all some good. And I got some good. See, I show y'all where industries are, where you can potentially start training yourself. YouTube, how-to tutorials. That is the best search engine terms you can do for yourself. Photoshop tutorials, After Effects tutorials, Adobe Premiere tutorials, Cartoon Animator 4 tutorials, right? So let's say you got iClone. iClone 8's now available. Yeah, y'all. iClone 8. We talking about 3D manga type beats. We talking about, you need to be thinking about, you going to be a game studio or cartoon studio type beat. I think it's time for y'all to start looking at your industries a little bit different and step up a little, because your content needs to have video. You got to have utility, right? So if I'm an audio professional, I make music, regardless if it's me as my production hat, or it's me in my rapper situation. You need utility. Now I'm telling you, you can buy 3D environments. You can make, a 3D character. You can put said 3D character into that environment. You can now motion cap that character. You can now use your phone, or I think right now it's the iTouch. You can use the iTouch of the iPhone, but I use the iTouch because I'm not trying to get an iPhone. But use the iTouch so you can do the motion capture on your face. And now all of a sudden you have an animation studio. Yeah. And the great thing is that in things like this, I can storyboard. So I do things from my clients. So where I'm coming from, y'all, and why I want y'all to see where what I'm talking about. This is not I'm not telling you something that I'm talking some side bobo shit. Let me show you. Go to YouTube, and I'm gonna go to my channel, which is the Toxic Hustle channel, right? And if you go into the channel and go down to the playlist, I think you go to film reel. Hey, where's my reel, man? Hustle mode. Oh, there it is, show reel. Right, and then I go to here. So I did a storyboard to do this animated video for a client. I made good money on this animated video for the client. Now, what I'm thinking about is how do I create better commercials for because what they're going to do is, remember, YouTube is basically a TV station now. If you think of it this way, YouTube all right, so Netflix, Hulu, were attacking. I remember I told Johnny about this years ago. I said Netflix and Hulu are going after HBO and Skinamax, right? HBO Showtime. Let's say that, not Skinamax, but HBO Showtime. So they're going to go after the products. So they're going to go after having their own shows and have their own stuff, right? So now look, these are things that I've done for clientele. All of these things, you run them out. So if you look at what these sites are these companies that jumped up, like I said, Netflix, Hulu. Well, YouTube and Facebook are attacking the same aspect. They're now buying content. They're buying a different type of content. Well, everybody now this YouTube platform is a video platform. This video platform has subscriptions. Right? So these are things that you can now create videos. And if you're on the marketing side of these videos, you can actually be an advertising source for your clients. So now I can design and develop commercials for my clients and roll them out. Sounds crazy. No, it ain't. Because then I can go to Envato. I keep telling y'all that hold on. No, it's actually Video High. It's Envato, but I'm just jumping the gun and going to Video Hive. Boom. VideoHive.net. Envato Marketplace. I go to Envato. Let's say I go to I go to After Effects, right? And then I say I want to do an opener for a client. So that's their intro, right? So now I got these openers. So now let's say I find something, let's say it's a crypto show. So, oops. Oh man, I'm not spending nothing right. Okay, there we go. Right? You got a crypto. And then what I'm going to do is it's an After Effects file. Good. So now I just got to choose what my client needs. Download whatever that is. Like let's say it's a digital event. Let's say there's somebody who wants an event. So now what I can do is get what my client needs, download that, do all the work, add his stuff to it, right? Add his video, his footage to this template, and then just charge him. This is why when I'll say there's a service side to this business, it's not just making music. Yes, I make music, but what I do now, because I'm getting my royalties from CD Baby, and because my music assets can now be used to earn me royalties and residuals, well, why won't I be on the front side of the only thing that is our gross domestic product, which is media? Media is the world gross domestic product now, because you can't mine anything fast enough anymore. You can't build it fast enough anymore, like building new refineries. They can't build it fast enough. So to be able to keep up with the inflation, to be able to keep up with what's going on with whatever else, you've got to find other ways to make money. Somebody's trying to start a business and somebody's trying to pay you for services to be able to get their business exposed, period. If you learn Photoshop, you can get work. Yes, you can use Canva. Yes, you can use other things. And yes, Photoshop costs a lot of money. But it's like, what if you can do, or After Effects or Premiere. But again, if you're treating this as a business, then you should be writing off everything. You should be writing off your internet. You should be writing off the space in your house that you have your computer or your office, right? You should be writing off your deductions for software. You can do that on your personal taxes. All you got to do is download like TurboTax, Home and Business, and they walk you through that ish. That's what I did. TurboTax, Home and Business, and it'll help you set up your office space. It'll help you set up how you do your taxes and write off your stuff. It'll help you through that shit. Now, if I make a business where I'm helping somebody get there, like, so let's take, another example is a rapper. So now let's say I can't sell a rapper a beat. Can I sell them me doing some type of editing work on a music video? Tell them, hey, shoot your video with, all right, this is how you shoot a music video. Go get some type of sound device like a radio or use your phone. Play the music on a phone and have it play. Lip sync and have somebody film it and record it either with your phones or something. And then all that footage, film it different areas, rhyme it, do it over and over again, give me different places, change your clothes, do whatever. I can take all of that, I bring it into After Effects or Premiere, and I try to do something with it. So now I don't have to be in your area to work with you. And we don't have to have something that might not be in your hand readily available for us to do business. And then I can sit there and say, hey, I'll make this music video for you for blah. It's going to take me this many hours, right? Let's say if it takes me 2 hours to work on a video, if I'm doing chops and edits or and then if I'm charging $50 an hour, I can say, hey, I can charge you $50 an hour on this. So that's $100. To edit. If you want to charge, if you don't think you can get that and you want to do it cheaper, you can do that. You can undercut it. You can charge $25 if you want to do that to get yourself started. Then build up a portfolio. Put stuff online. Put it on YouTube. Create a channel. Have your work on there. Post, get your resume up and post links to your YouTube channel that has all your work there. Bang. Yeah, Johnny, lyric videos. They're a lot of work these days. I'm still trying to figure out how to automate that process and make it look really dope and then not just be text up and down, fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out. I really wanted to do other things and I just haven't found out how to do it in such a way where I can kind of automate the process and speed it up, because that lyric video I did for Ty, that was a month. Yeah, that was a month to do. I'll show y'all what I mean, because Johnny knows what I'm talking about. It's, I think it's Just a Fantasy. Yeah, this one. This is called Kinetic Type. And I did this in After Effects and Premiere. And I had to literally, and Photoshop. And what I had to literally do was take all the lyrics and break them down and bring them one line at a time into, it was a pain in the ass, but to get everything that you see in here, and then in Photoshop, design all the plates for this. Let me put it at double speed so you can kind of see playback speed here. That way you can see like all the things. So this would be more money, of course. But this is a different type of lyric video, right? This took a month. But I can't be spending time like this I mean, to do what I did, like I said, that would take a month of my life away. I would only be able to really work on that one project to do it the way I did back then, and then had to do all the animations, render everything, wait for all the renders. Now, is it different now? Probably so. Is it faster now? Probably so. Will I have to figure out a format for that? Probably so. Because I still want to do lyric videos like this. It may not be automated, but if it can even be done in, say, 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm not even going to say if I can get it done in 5 hours, then it's still worthwhile. That means I can still get it done in a reasonable workday. And if I can get one video done in a day, then there's some commerce that can come out of that. Now, I don't know how many customers are going to want to spend on that if what I'm charging on that. So, let's see. So, how to ride. Okay, what are technologies that can be learned to pivot into strength now once this recession is over? All right, industries that you can pivot into. I've kind of been already talking about that because I've already walked into it, which is media. If the gross domestic product is media, this is our gross domestic product right now. Look at what we're doing with music. Look at what we're doing with videos. Look at what we're doing with movies. The fact that you can shoot a film on your iPhone, big up the camera for iPhone, right? You can do, like, we're going to change. That's already changing how we film. Before, you couldn't guerrilla shoot a film on the street because you would have to get all these permits. Now, if somebody's holding a phone and it's so good in quality that you can use that for a commercial spot, dude. And, all these phones are going to keep getting better, and all of these devices are going to keep getting better. So what we're able to create is going to be easier and faster to do. And the fact, like I said, with Adobe having this collaborative thing that they're doing where I can be on location somewhere, or whoever I'm working with, I can be working with a director who's shooting something or working on a cartoon or an anime, and they need a scene, or they need, sound effects, y'all. Hey, Johnny, sound effects, man. That's another business model, but a different one. Service sound effects. So it's not to just make sound packs. It's making a sound pack for yourself that you can theme an entire scene with it. So like being able, like I would think of it like in Unreal, being able to create a sound system that if you're in like this type of environment, what do you hear? Do you have a whole street scene pack? That was one of the things from one of my clients that came up, that if I had an entire sound library of my own licensed sounds, that I could have gotten into a license agreement with them. So thinking about how you record, what kind of recordings you can do for yourself, and then being able to partner with these environment people and be able to do things. And what I mean by that is you can go to Unreal. When I say partner, right? Marketplace. Where's the marketplace? There it is. Marketplace. So digital assets, like they have bow. Boom. Environments. There we go. Booyah. So, okay, check this out. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to go one step further. Check this price. Check this price right here. Check this price right here. And check all the scenes I got right here. What do you think, Johnny, my ninja, in real time, bruh? I didn't even think about this, but this is some real time right now. Do you know what you can do? What kind of commercials you can do, or scenes you can do, or music videos you can do with 3D characters, right? I think that there's going to be a market to actually be creating like these interactive, real crazy, different type of music videos. Like, why do I have to go drag a camera everywhere? Why can't I create these, like these, this is real time, right? It's like, this is different. Because remember when I was trying to render all that crap, like the reason why music is because I could not get the videos to look the way I wanted when I wanted in a way that I wanted. And the hardware restrictions, like rendering Ty Durden's music video when I did his, it was 3 months worth of rendering time on my small little 16 gigabyte RAM computer, thinking I had like the dope. Right? So I look at this and I'm like, yo, there's a different business model here. Like there's a whole nother different business model. And like, and for that to be like 30 something dollars, are you kidding me? Like, come on. You can't see like doing like setting up something for somebody who wants to be like Rick Ross. Ross. Putting on women on my head. Winning on dinner. Big thing winning on that. Winning on my head. Come on, man. Come on. Do some kung fu fighting. Even though this doesn't look like it's as realistic as I would like. But still, I mean, I'm looking at the prices. This is putting me in the state of mind that I felt when I first saw Photoshop templates and been able to take Photoshop templates and flip them for clients, like making business cards for clients using a template. That's another business, man. People need business cards, right? All right. Okay, I'm just saying. Come on, man. You mean to tell me, yo, y'all, you mean to tell me we ain't gonna have new type of manga, 3D manga type beats or video, like virtual world? Yo, Johnny, remember Second Life? Remember when I was doing Second Life and I was like, I had the club with the clothes and the fashion clothes and all that stuff inside and people could buy the clothes. And then in Second Life, we were making like the money and I was trying to be able to get to the point where we do DJing shows and then the market collapsed. The entire, like, that was a 2007, 2008 market collapse. Right? And then after that, it was dead. So nobody had broadband. Like, so that's what I learned from the last financial collapse, y'all, was with Second Life was, and this is what's happening with Meta. So don't get gassed on this whole metaverse thing yet. I'm going to tell you why it's going to fail for now. Metaverse ain't going to work because what hardware do you need for it? You can sit on a computer, but you're probably going to need broadband. So, I mean, you could probably go with it through, because you're playing Epic games. So if you're playing like Fortnite, I mean, you're already in a virtual world. So if you're already playing Fortnite, there you go. I don't think this meta thing is like you need to have goggles. That's another level of extraction. And then there's people that get sick and there's people that get dizzy and then there's the injuries. And then there's the weirdo factor of you bumping into walls. So this right here, Unreal, this is a regular video game engine. This is used for movies. This is used for commercials now. This is used for, of course, video games. This is now going to be used for music videos. They use it for TV shows. It was used for Altered Ego, where they had real-time performers being virtual, this new virtual artist or virtual act. And with what's going on, y'all, the fact that this dude got fired, AI engine, right? If y'all don't know, this AI engineer got fired or laid off, or he's on paid leave or not leave or something. But he's basically said that the AI that they have is basically like a little 7-year-old child. And like talking about don't turn off the power or turn me off because that scares me type beats. So I need us to understand creativity is changing. One of those is which an AI, and I can't remember AI art in news. Who is it? The DAL-E. Y'all remember Wall-E? They're really funny how they do stuff. Remember Wall-E, and what Wall-E was like the last like robot on the planet Earth or something or whatever. Like everybody else had left or dead or whatever or something. I don't remember. But anyway, this thing, again, Elon Musk. I keep telling y'all got to keep an eye on Elon. And what I mean by keep an eye on him, I mean keep an eye on Elon. Like keep one eye on him. Because he's the one that's going to make people get chips in their head. I'm telling you, Elon wants to get the chip in your head. Brain chip. And his monkey started pulling fingers off. Right? Here's the images. He's using the copper color feature right there. He's telling you, hey, brother, man, I want to put one in your head. Pause. Right? They want to upload themselves to a system, and they glitching out. People are glitching the hell on out. So now what's DALL-E? DALL-E is out here making images now. And he can make images do whatever it wants to do. Like tell it to make like a cat wearing here. Open AI DALL-E. So it would say, okay, here, let me open this in a new window. Open image in a new window. An espresso machine that makes coffee from human souls. Artistation. Bam. It made this. From this. Panda mad scientist mixing sparkling chemicals. Artistation. So basically, artistation means make it into an art form. Right? It's just telling it what to do with what the statement is. Use this process of artistation and take this input before whatever input. This is what it's reading, right? Read the input, make a comma, and then do this artwork. So this is the input that it gets, the only input it gets. So a corgi's head depicted as an explosion of a nebula. And they didn't even use the artistation for that. Oh, shoot. Rayhan's already been messing with DALL-E to make wow. All right. I'm going. Yo, Rayhan, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you told me you're able to do that, because now, y'all, we need to go back again. Hold on, because that's APIs, right? Hold on. Party man. HTTP. Naughty man. Party man. HTTP request. N8N again. Likes to party like nobody can. So, yeah, this. So, art. How we see art. What we're getting from art. We're talking about what happens when design is liberated from design. See, think about that. There is things that I used to do in Photoshop. Let me explain. When I first got into design, I got in with Photoshop. And to cut somebody out of a picture, right? Especially if to cut them out of a picture and that picture, you have to airbrush them out. I could spend an hour or two airbrushing somebody out of a picture, because you have to zoom in and you could spend hours trying to get it to look right, because there might be hairs. You got to make sure there's no jaggies. So you could spend hours trying to get somebody out. Now you click, boom, extract, you're done. What used to take hours to do, done in an instant. Now we're talking about green screens in real time. The green screen, the roto I had to do, like y'all don't understand the pain I went through for this music thing. Like the pain I went through for this music thing. Where's the bomb here? let's go to his other song. The pain I went through for this music thing, man. Where is it? I don't think I put it in here. No, because of the cursing. That's why. Yeah, I didn't put it in the film reel. Give me 1 second. Let me go back to Toxic Hustle. Then go back to playlist. Then I believe it's going to be in the music of videos. Behind the beats, tragic. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. No, it's not beats by Tragic. Oh, Toxic Hustle music. There it goes. Boom, boom, boom. I need to name these things better. Actually, nope, that's not it. Because, yep, I need to name these things better. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Hey. I'm about to be like, bump this. Yeah, that's all beats. No. That's whack. Oh, there it is. Damn, it's all the way down here. Shombish. So it is. Oh, you know what? I'm done. 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 That's not it. Hold on. There it is. Damn it. I don't know why it didn't want to damn show me this thing. All right. So like this. What I had to do was render every single one of these scenes as a plate. Every single scene in this damn thing, except for, yeah, even this. The walls of this was all rendered. That scene was rendered. This scene was rendered in multiple shots. So you can see Toxic Hustle back here. Where's Johnny? Hold on. Johnny's in here somewhere. Where are you at, Johnny? Hold on. Where's Johnny at? There's Johnny. There's Johnny's raunchy ass shit. Johnny be having raunchy ass lyrics. You need to clean your damn shit up. I can't promote you, bruh. Tighten up, bruh. Right? And so then, oh, that was the bartender at the bar. There's Johnny right there. Text. Me, my crazy ass in an insane asylum. So I did this. This is my render. I lost weight since then because I was eating plenty of hamburgers, man. Oh, here we go. So that's another scene I did, right? Where this is another render with a 3D car and had him rendered in the scene. Like, this is low budget, trying to be low budget Hollywood. This is what a low budget Hollywood look like for a music video. Literally every shot was rendered. And the coup de grace of hell was this one. This shot here. And again, he's on a green screen. You got lights, smoke, everything on top of him. This is all in After Effects. These are 3D rigs. So these are all 3D lighting, 3D rigs, so that even the smoke, he's on a stage. Like, literally, it's like almost building a stage inside After Effects. And then putting the image in there and trying to get all the layers to look right so he sits in their property properly. So now you can see he's interacting and the lights are interacting with him. And then I had these things on the like the images on the sign, and then you have all this crowd. Actually, let me slow it down back to normal speed, right? So that you can see like the crowd move. And then here's another one. Again, another 3D environment. Right? So what you're seeing, everything that Like, this is the idea that I had years ago. And now we're talking about real time. You're telling me we can build our characters, animate our characters, and then I got, where's Real Illusion again? Go back to Real. I closed Real Illusion, didn't I? Hold on. Control T. Because I like showing y'all the whole business process. Not a part of the process, but the whole thing. The whole thing. Right? So you got iClone. So iClone means I can sit there and have these scenes be built, get these characters in. We're talking motion capture again. So all the stuff that EA Sports be doing, you can use devices to actually use your camera and pan your camera around. So literally really treat this like, so look, I mean, that's Schmiega, right? He's using his face and this to motion capture this. So you're talking about damn near real-time production. Props and scenes, camera systems, lights and shadows, plenty of characters. You can like again, they even have the character creator. But you can get so much more out of this. See? Using the phone. Or using some animation system. Fully rigged characters that can just be walking around. So now I can create entire scenes with walking crowds and characters. This is software. This is software that is going to be used by multiple agencies, businesses, game, people that need virtual actors and actresses, where you just take a sound file, right? You take a sound file from someone that comes in and you have digital animation that moves with this. This will all be automated. Or you can then just have some type of motion capture where you mime it and actually do the facial recognitions yourself. This would take hundreds of people to do. This is why I said the tools that you have now at your disposal, you've got to think that the business has shifted. Everything that was taking multiple of teams to do has been optimized for 1 to 2 people to be able to knock it out. If you've got a small group or a small team and everybody has like dope skill sets, you can build out a lot pretty fast these days. So it's literally up to you to make a decision on how you want to build out your businesses. But understand your businesses are no longer as terrestrial as you think they are, right? So if you don't have a product and or service that you have for yourself, you know, maybe it's a subscription product. Maybe you're doing services for other people. I'll be looking at graphics. I'll be looking at audio if you're in the audio, because I mean, hell, we're in musical geniuses, right? So if you're dealing with audio, then you've got mixing, mastering. If you know how to do some graphics, then you can do on the graphic end for that. So that's CD covers, that's or album covers, that's posters, right? That's being able to be on the side of social media. You can do social media graphics for folks. And you can charge them, let's say monthly, for giving them X amount of social media graphics. You can create businesses. It's reliant upon you wanting to spend time helping other people make money, right? Help others make money. That's the one thing I do for my clients. Like if I'm working for a client, I'm spending the extra time making a video or distributing it or circulating it because I want them to continue to use my service because they see I give them exposure. So the goal is make sure that you're offering value to your customers in some form of respect. And us just making beats at this, and with everything we've just gone through, well, what the Fed is doing, the fact that they're shutting down they're shutting down easy funding, right? By raising interest rates, they reduce our way to have funding because interest rates high. That means my payment's going to be high. It means I either need to fire somebody to be able to survive, or I'm going to have to reduce my expenditures or just not grow as fast. So now don't take the loan, right? We know that their mandate is to reduce, to get full employment and to potentially be able to lock down the, to maintain interest rates so that they can give their monetary policy of saying, hey, everything is all right when it really ain't. Right now, the tide has run out and we get to see who's naked. The ocean has run out. We get to see how many people have too much debt, and these vampire companies begin to poof. And vampire companies are companies that have way too much debt. And as their interest rates go up, how they cannot afford to service that debt, they go underwater. We're watching defaults of multiple companies happening in real time. So now we're going to talk about Bitcoin and crypto because I want to be able to give you some information because it's important. All right. Now, y'all know I talk about my seasons of Bitcoin. And I told y'all, as I told y'all, June of last year, right around, I don't want to be accused of lying. I don't want to be lying, man. I don't want to be lying to you. So when did we get into, when did I come back? When did I come back? My last video was a year ago. A year ago. Okay, so I came back with the China FUD because China was breaking the market down. May 20th. Funny. So May. So yeah, I was back before June. And June had more ish, right? So if that was May, right? Hold on. Where we were. I came back. Where are you? There you go. Here. So right, this must have been June. Hold up. Let's see if this is June. Because I say putting out bot fires because I just loaded my bots up and then the market crashed. No, we're still in May. Hold on. Charting the bounce. Intro to crypto bots. Watching for the money. Let me see if... Shut up, you big dummy. I think this is it. Shut up, you big dummy should be June. No, that's still May. Damn, I was putting in some work in May. It must have been hell, man. And it's gone. And it's gone. Is that June? Sorry, my ADD. I just need to know. Oh, don't tell me it's Occupy Silence. Because that would be very telling. It isn't. Damn, I was hoping. Crypto Cookup, SEC. Want to say, we'll try one more. I want to try right here. And I think that's going to be it. Yeah, okay, June. Here we go. So episode 10. So starting with episode 10 is when all hell started to break loose, right? So if I go now back to crypto, right here is the first week of June. Boom. Drop. Look at this. First week of June, May, right? Right around the first week of June. Again, this is why there's a seasons of Bitcoin. What I wanted to just show you is what was on my mind right around that time. And it didn't really matter what the FUD was, right? Big trouble in China. Exodus has begun. So right around here, a bunch of hell broke loose. Like all hell broke loose all in this zone. Y'all, it doesn't matter what the news is. The news just ends up fitting the narrative of the time of something major that was happening, or maybe it's just winky dinky. Or maybe that's how they're phasing the news to be able to try to mask the fact that there's a significant dip point. But regardless, there's significant dip points. Now, why am I bringing up Bitcoin? Because as I've been telling y'all, and I think I put it on my Twitter. Let me see. Tragic. I think it's on my Twitter. If not, it's definitely in the Discord. Word to the wise, I would move my crypto. Here we go, February. Where is, drop that out. Thank you. Okay. So, actually go back up. So I just posted this out. And it's basically about Coinbase, right? Happens to fall right in coinciding to the time that these were popping off. So the news fits the narrative. But the fact is that since we broke here, I want you to see, and I told you sentiment charting, which I do have, I showed you here in this video here, underneath sentiment charting, intro to crypto bots. Where's sentiment charting? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Intro to sentiment charting. This one right here. This one right here is what makes up these blue and purple lines. Purple lines are your monthly lines. These are your blue lines are my weekly lines. When you, and wherever there's points that they sit, draw. Then where there's a week, take where they sit and draw. Basically, where's the medians, right? Why do I do that? Now that I have my purple lines, I know where there's going to be major breakpoints. Now that I have my blue lines, I can see how close they are to purples, because if they trip, you could have a tripwire that runs down. So sometimes you need some blue lines because there's not enough data, like these purple ones. There's not enough data because we're pretty much been flying high or flying low. There's not as much. So sometimes you need the blue lines to just be able to see where you're sitting. But when they break through, they break down serious. And just like the purple lines, break down serious. Now, we also got some other things going on, which are our moving averages. Now, typically, we got our moving averages on the day. We've been underneath the 200-day moving average way back here. That's November, y'all. No, wait, sorry. No, back here. So we dropped right here. So that would be December. Sorry. So December dip took us underneath the 200-day moving average. So since we've been underneath the 200-day moving average, so what that means is when you're underneath the 200-day moving average, you're in bear market. Period. You're in a bear market. News is good at that. Sometimes the truth be buried inside the narrative, the lie. Yep, saying, yep, that's the truth, Johnny. So now what we got, right? Bitcoin broke down. We're underneath the 200-day moving average. When we go on, the reason why I'm showing this, I want y'all to see how robots trade. This is not about human action. This is about what robots see, right? Really, where robots play is in the 4 hour. But I want you to see this on the daily, because when we go to the week, I want you to see how it plays out the same way. So this way, you're not going to, it's not speculative what I'm talking about, right? So watch up here. We're going to watch this a few times. And this is on the daily. This is the 25, 50-day moving average. This is the 100-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. When we go and break, when these lines flip and crack, they drop. Crack, they drop. And when they cross specific lines, like they cross all these lines and drop below all these lines, you see it fell down. And then went underneath the 200 and it kept going down, right? So it broke through all these. Then it went here. Then all of a sudden it gets beneath. And all of a sudden there's a run and there's a run. And then it bounced. And then it kind of fell, but then it bounced above it, right? And you can see as it breaks down below something, it cracks, and it'll crack beneath these lines and they'll fall down. But it found support, bounced off the 100, and still kept up on its bull run. This was back in November of last year. Now, I told you, November, there's always a dip. Always a dip. That's the purple. So keep an eye on the purple because it's going to come up again this year. So as we go, we fall through, we crack through, we crack through, we crack through. We've been back underneath 200 again since back here in January. It bounced up, smacked its head against it, fell back through. We are now underneath all of this. for now on the day, for us to really even keep back up, this has to come back down and we need to bounce back off that green line to even swoop back up. That's just the way it's going to play. Just like it did here, has to bounce off something. It's free fall right now. So why am I showing you that? I want to show you what happened on the weekly and why these robots have been trading so aggressively over the last few weeks. I want you to see some major breaks that seem to have just begun to happen on these weekly charts. See, it got here, this is in January, it bounced its head off of this stuff here, the 25 and 50 day, right? And then fell right underneath it. Then it kept playing around. It's been breaking some serious lines, purples and blues, right? So we're falling through. Now, we got through this 25, we bounced off the 25, 50, hit our head, couldn't do it. Bounced off these lines and kept going down. You can see these purple lines will be something that is a resistance point, and it also can be support depending on what's going on. But we've been breaking some serious lines. So we broke this 100-day moving average, right? Just like we did on the day. When you break an average, it breaks down hard, especially these bigger averages like the 100. So then we have this 200-day moving average. Look where it's at. Look where this is. I told you these things within 3 typically dip. So within a window of 3, you're going to have a drop point. This one came, but then the drop point came afterwards. So 1, 2, and 3. Or 1, 2, and 3. Right? So we had our dip, this one, 1, 2, and 3. It started, but it didn't really hit. Anyway, regardless, we still got this and it dropped down. So why am I bringing this up? Let me get some of these other things out of the way for a second. I want you to see that there's a purple line sitting right here. Remember, I told you that this was going to be a 31% drop, and I called this early. Well, I want y'all to see something, and this is crazy, but I want you to see something. I tell you, November dips are serious. This November dip is always a serious thing. Look what's coming around the corner. Look where we are. Look where we are with this market. Look where we are with the stocks. Look where we are in the cycle of investment like we've talked about. Now, if there's fear in the market, if there's people being laid off, if there's risks for people defaulting, if they want to crush demand, well, this is speculative. It's software, and it's on the side of tech. So it's going to act like all the tech stocks. So so with the tech stock, so with the crypto at this point. So 2024 is the next Bitcoin halving cycle. We ain't getting nothing till then. So what do we do have to look forward to? 2 more dips. This is our September dip. There is one right after the 4th of July. And I'll show you it. Back here, remember? Wow. Hold on. Where is it? Where's the 4th of July? June? July. Right here. Right here on the weekly, the week after the 4th of July drop. I just didn't put it in there because it's not a significant drop. But there is a drop after the 4th of July. So that's going to be right the week after. Here's the July 4th. That'll be right here. In fact, watch this. I'm going to take this. Right? Oops. I'm going to do this. And then where's 4th of July? So it's going to be the 11th of July. Right? 11th of July. And then I'm just going to put a little note. Will it dip? And then I'll just put a date of 6/16/22. All right. So this way we know. Oops, did I put an L instead of an I? There we go. Will it dip? Put some question marks. There we go. Boom. And let's get it red. So there's our note. For this one right here, on this date, we'll check back in the future and see whether or not it hits where it hits. But I'm just gonna test to see if, again, I'll just throw it up there and see. Again, these are just the systemic dips that seem to run. So why? Why is this important? Each one of these dips pulls this down, and if it's near one of these purples, you're pretty much good, almost a surety that it might break. And you can see where there's some support. There's no more support here. So if we look and we go down, you see there's your support, and then you got a little support here, but not really. So where's our next bounce point? Now, our next bounce point's here. So I said we got 20,000 or 19,000. So I've been saying 19K Bitcoin to 13K Bitcoin. So here's our 19K Bitcoin, and here's our 13K Bitcoin. Now, where did I call this? I actually called this in the Discord, since I don't have it in front of me. Where's my charts? Give me a second. Here it is. And bring this over on this side so you can see. Boom. Boom. Here we go. So this is what I put in the Discord. This was the 13th. So this is like 3 days ago. I said the next bounce between 13 and 16. More dips pending. Danger, 200 weekly. Once we break that 200 weekly, we already broke the 100 and we drop. So that's what we're talking about right now. These things just happen. So now, where is Bitcoin going to fall? Like I said, we had 13. But again, look what we're dealing with. We've got this September, this dip. Now, look at how many little purple lines we have left. Now, this is going back in the past. This is going back in the past and getting these monthly lines, right? So that's our last real shots of seeing anything. So now we've got here. Let me see if I'm going to make sure I can get my where the dips are into the screen. All right, so it's here to the next bounce point. So that could be here at 13,000, right? Right around 13,806. Then let's say this next one brings you down here. That gets you at 11,482. Let's see Big Purple shows up and drops you here or even here, because you really got a weakening. So you could be looking at an 11,500-ish Bitcoin, or worst case scenario, if we keep following earlier than my estimates like we have been doing, which has been crazy, that we're even here now, look at what we're talking about. We're talking about a $7,473 Bitcoin. That, ladies and gentlemen, is crazy. So, yeah, I want to tell y'all something, because I just jumped into my head, and I want to show y'all something. What we just talked about. And I'm going to say there's more pain to come. And it's only because it's coming to me now, y'all. Hold on, because I thought we were we are kind of closer to an end, but not yet. Not yet, because something just came up. Something just jumped in my dome. Dome. All right, bank accounts. We just want a reminder, bank accounts being low, right? Our bank accounts are down to 4.4, which is recessionary tactics right here, right? Okay. And then Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? They're going to get margin call. Yeah. Oh. Ba-ba-boom. Here we go. MicroStrategy. Let's see. What did you say? MicroStrategy says margin call talk is much ado about nothing. No, he took a $200 million loan that they collateralized. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 homeboy. You're you didn't get a margin call. It's not about getting a margin call. It's about the fears of the margin call. It's why there's a fear for his margin call. It's what level. Okay, against 3,466 Bitcoin, he borrowed 205 million. He borrowed when Bitcoin was higher, not at this price, y'all. Should the price of Bitcoins drop about 21,000, that would trigger a margin call or a demand for extra capital. Remember, he took out debt. His company don't make that much money. Bitcoin fell to 2816 on Tuesday. MicroStrategy has a 200 term loan. It needs to maintain 410 million as collateral. Has blah 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 to pledge. So basically, they would have to sell off their Bitcoin or give up their Bitcoin to match the collateralization if they breach below their point. So the reason why I bring this up and the reason why it jumped into my head is this, okay, is the fact that where did he need to be? 21,000. I just want to show y'all something one more time. Let's do this one more again. He needs to stay, and he's probably spending, and he's probably begging everybody to keep above the $21,000 mark. Y'all, we see where we are right now, right? We're at already 20,000. So what did I tell you is going to happen? We have a break. Damn, hold on. I twisted something. Fine. Forget it. Hold on. Let me turn this because some reason this stupid thing got switched up on me. All right. So what was I saying? Okay. So here we are. So once we break through this level, we say we have to be at 21,000. My thing isn't whether or not homeboy can survive at 21,000. My thing is, now, this is why I'm making certain moves right now, and I want y'all to understand why I'm making my moves. All right. What do I know that we've got to deal with right now? We are dealing with the fact that potentially a bunch of stable coins have been shaking out, right? So if stable coins are getting shaken out, I don't want to be in stable coins. One of the things that where are you? Hold on. Damn. I think it's this one. Oh, where are you? Where? This isn't it. I hate having so many damn screens open, y'all. Give me a second. MicroStrategy. Damn. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to be doing right now is, again, we're talking about Tether, stable coins. So the reason why I'm making the moves what I'm about to do is I'm about to shut off robots and I'm about to pull my Tether. I'm about to convert it back to USDC. I'm going to move that USDC off platform. So like I told y'all in my on Twitter, what I said in the Discord, that I am going to move my coin off Coinbase, which I've done already. I put it into I put it in an Exodus. So I already put it in an Exodus wallet and pulled it off. So like done. Put it into cold storage, moved it. I left it in USDC because I don't want it in cash. And USDC is at least pegged to a dollar. And while the dollar is, people still want dollars. So I'm not worried about dollars disappearing or the price of dollars disappearing. The price of the dollar has been going up, which is a detriment to commodities. So I want to be out. Why? Tether is shaking things up. And why this has to do with Coinbase is as these markets begin to fall down, as MicroStrategy has they get margin called. If we're dropping where we're talking about, look at the lines, y'all. And again, we still have a December dip. We still have potentially, we've got the November dip. We've got potentially a small December dip, depending on how bad it was around Christmas time. And then you've got the January dip, which is a significant dip. So you've got at least two major dip zones, and you've got at least one or two substantial ones and at least one moderate one, because December ones can be moderate, depending on the FUD factor. So right now, with all of this, you could easily see, and I'm going to try to keep this as close as possible. Oh, good. I can do it. I can stretch this out. Hold up. There we go. So now let's look at this. We come down here. We break down here. Hopefully we don't break down here earlier than on this one, because then that would be kind of freaky if we did fall down here on that one. Means by this one we're here. Yep, means this one we're here. Means this one we're here. I'm at 7,500 now. Remember, January dip is significant. So now let's stretch this out a little bit more. I'm running out of space. Let me try to get it so I can at least still see a little color. All right, so let's do this again. We're here. We get to this one. I can see it up there. Get to this one brings us potentially here. This one breaks us through. That's what it is. This one breaks us through. This one gets us here. This one gets us here. This one gets us here. Let's do that again to make sure. Here, break through. Here, we're going to bounce here. Here, we're going to come down to the second level. I'm going to try to keep my line right there so I get to here. Here, we're breaking down to 7,000. Let's move. I'm going to keep on this level. Then we come here is 6,000. This is a significant dip, meaning potentially two line breaks since they're close. So 1, 4,000, 900. So $5,000, excuse me. About 5,000. And potentially, if it breaks anywhere down more, because it's significant, you're looking at a $4,000 Bitcoin. Now, do I think it can do that? I'm hoping no. But I'm telling you, it don't look so good, man. It don't look good, man. That don't look good, man. So I would just be careful on crypto, which is why I talk to y'all about generating assets, putting your music out in CD Baby, generate your royalties, take your royalties that get delivered to your PayPal and or bank account, and potentially invest it in other assets, right? There's other assets in the market that you can get into, right? One of the things I've been doing, which I told y'all I was on the other side of this trade since January. And here it is, the close of the day. And you can see my shorts are still up. That's funny. My shorts are up. Pause. I don't have, my shorts ain't down. My shorts are up. So my shorts are up significantly because there's things called, these are inverse ETFs, right? So if you have an ETF, like the Russell 2000, you can play on the adverse of the Russell 2000, which is the TZA. Or the SQQ is the S&P 500. Right? So the S&P 500 is up or down, like it's down 3%. This SQ2 is 3 times, so it's 11% up. I bet real heavy on this. At least on the S&P 500 side, I knew it was going down. I knew it was going to go down bad, so I put 3 times the bet on it. I don't know how long it's going to fall down, but the thing is that this market playing the way it's playing. Let's look at the S&P. Now I'm going to use the same charts we just used, or the same kind of line structure, and we're going to use it on the S&P. Hold on. Actually, give me 1 second, because I have a chart for it. So let me just pull that up. Go back. Hey, go back. Go to BTC. Yeah, there you go. There y'all go. Now go here. Go to crypto. Wait, cancel. Hit save. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I didn't open up all my stock data, so I'm having to do that now. Let me give you the Russell, and then the TZA, and then we have the SPX, and we have the SQQ. All right. So on my Russell, you can see how the Russell plays. So as the Russell's been going down, look at where the Russell's playing on the day. Just like we talked about with Bitcoin, bouncing its head over things and hit the 100. Can't get to, so you're on your S&P 500. What do we say about the day on the day? You're under that red, you're dead. You're in a bear market. So we've been in a bear market. So back in January, I started shorting the market. I said, if I was taught, if you're underneath that 200, run. So I went ahead and started shorting my position, went triple on it. And that play has played out. You know, from the top down, from when I started shorting, price range, I started, let's say, right around here, because we fell underneath, and we're down here. Over 25% to the downside. And of course, that's 25 times 3. So it's pretty lucrative. I'm over 100% on that trade. And that's what you have to play in this market. You can't play a stock. You know what I wanted to do? And I found out about ARK. I saw ARK at $60 something had a short potential. 3x short on her. And I could have jumped into it, but I didn't understand. I was still just learning the inverse ETFs. So again, inverse ETFs in bear markets, that's where you earn. And if you think that the market's going to fall farther, which Bitcoin, being the season of Bitcoin, like we talked about, could fall through. Now, again, what does that have to do with Tether? What does that have to do with anything? Well, Tether has a bunch of debt printed, and the things you're seeing that happen with the stable coins are having this hyper interest rate. These high interest yields were not conducive or supportive. How are you making money with this? Like, look, I like staking. I think it's dope. If you're making staking, and because let's say there's a transaction, and on that transaction you're earning a small fee, like Bitcoin, and that's how you make your money. So somebody did something, you facilitated the transaction, you got a portion of that transaction fee as revenue for making the transaction. Bong, kind of makes sense. Great. We have a network that uses energy and can potentially earn from validating transactions. Great. If it's not doing anything, if you don't have another business case, what else do you need it for? The thing that I liked about Ethereum was the fact that, hey, you could put websites on chain. That seemed cool. I got in at $5. Then, of course, the market 2018 crashed, and basically I had to sell to pay bills, because I thought crypto was going to go up forever in 2018, and it didn't. It went down. Just like now. The halving cycle ended. The market crashed. The next halving cycle was 2020 at the time. And then I had to wait till then. The next cycle for us right now in real time is 2024. And when it hits in 2024, we'll have another bull run. But until then, crypto's dead. Now I have my shorts over here. Like I told you, we were shorting on this side, but there's been some weird performance plays where FTM should be shorting, but it's like people ran from one network to another network, so it actually spiked. So my shorts, which should have been going up in value, dropped because people moved their money to other networks to run away from the ones that are failing. So we're having a shuffle of money happening around, but there's no place to hide yet. And people don't understand that. And I'm waiting for some things to fall. One of which, the reason why I moved my stuff off of Coinbase, and while I think we still got some pain, is if you look for Al, Al, Al Gore. Algorithmic. Hold on. Oh, that's it. Algorithmic stablecoin. All right. Boom. So the problem is algorithmic stablecoins, right? A stablecoin that doesn't have something backed by itself. It's using mathematical equations to keep itself at a $1 peg. And what we're noticing is these pegs are getting broken because it's easy to break stuff. So now what I want to do, especially if you have enough cash like banks and all this other stuff and all these hedge funds, like all these Mark Cubans and the Wall Street guys getting in here and putting their money in, they can shake these markets up by removing their liquidity, right? So things like DAI, you have to watch. Magic Internet Money, I don't know what the hell that is. Frax, Neutrino, you got Ampleforth, USDX. I know this one's having problems now. This USDD has been losing its peg. So as these stable coins, which are used for DeFi, and again, as people are getting margin called, DeFi has in itself the same properties we see on the stock market, where you can take out loans and you're able to put that into and compound, right? So what they're doing is, let's say I have $1,000. And then I say I can get, I take $1,000 and I say I'm going to put X amount up. And with that $1,000, I want to get another X amount of percentage on a loan, right? So I'm using my $1,000 as collateralization, and I'm able to use that, earn interest on it, take a loan, earn interest on the loan I took out, take that interest that I took out, put it someplace else, earn on that, and that was like DeFi yield chasing. But what does this network actually do for you to earn 3, 4, 5, 15, 19% other than other people bringing their money in? Which is no different than, I don't know, Social Security. I don't know, pension funds. They need somebody new to come in to keep the things going. Well, this breaking, more of these potentially breaking, and Tether, which we don't even know, they just have like weirdo money all over the place, and some of that stuff is tied to China because they have something called commercial paper. Right? They have commercial paper. Commercial paper is a common form of unsecured, not secured, short-term, supposed to be short, debt issued by a corporation. So these people are taking short-term paper and used it as collateralized, as basically saying, I'm going to print more Tether because, so basically Tether's become the Fed. Right? That's the best way I can say it. They can just print money. They can say, this is an asset. Hey, this building over here in China, this building's worth $100,000. I'm going to mint $100,000 with Tether because we have part of that the building on our books, the commercial paper of that building. But what if the building ain't worth nothing? What if whatever the business they're in ain't worth nothing? What if the crypto dies? What if that stable coin or that other thing dies? All of that is going to get shut down. And that is what the Fed wants. The Fed, which even the Treasury, Yellen said, we need to regulate stablecoins. Well, guess what? They're cracking stablecoins now to get their regulation up. What does that mean? It doesn't really change much for Bitcoin, but they've already locked Bitcoin down, y'all. We just didn't see it coming. We didn't understand what it meant for seeing something get locked down. I saw it with the internet. It's easy. Banks get involved, and the bank's been there. They've been spending on investments for years, and now they're all when they shook everybody out, they want to be custodians. The thing is all about custody, y'all. That's the funniest thing. We're all in maritime, and we forget maritime law. It's all about custody. How we talk about our children is like an asset, right? Our children are our greatest assets, supposed to be. Whether or not you get custody of your children or like you get custody of your assets. Do you get custody of your gold, right? Get custody of your safety deposits that you put in the bank, right? So it's custody. It's all about custody. Well, who's your custodian for your crypto? Not your wallet, not your keys, not your wallet, right? So Coinbase right now in their filings had said something about the fact that if they go bankrupt, you lose your money. I'm like, no, sir, I'm out. I pulled my money out of there. I left a little bit so I can trade. So this is the hustle. I'm going to leave with Bitsgap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep 5,000 on exchanges for trading. I will trade in and out of shorts on KuCoin. And then every few months, I'm just going to scrape whatever the profits are and move them into cold storage after they become converted back to USDC. And I'm going to rinse, wash, and repeat throughout this entire segment of this crypto cycle. This way, I'm only risking a small amount of capital on the exchange, and it better make its own money, or, I just shut down the bots and keep it moving. If it cannot sustain itself at the 5,000 marks on both exchanges, then it doesn't need to be done. Right now in this market climate, nothing stays up. And the sad thing is that the shorts were my only play because shorts go up. Everything else is going down. And while I can play with that situation, like where I can have with the regular crypto, like buying Bitcoin, I'm going against the wave, right? So let's say we're in a bear market. I have to sit down and say, okay, well, the crypto, I buy Bitcoin and it's low, and now it's lower, and now it's lower. At least I'm buying my shorts now, and then they go higher, and now I can at least play as if the market's I'm playing the reverse of the market. So with my KuCoin shorts, there you go. Now I'm looking at FTX to potentially be able to play that same game on that side of the world. Plus, FTX is also bringing in stocks. So as soon as this robot works on that exchange, that's going to be even more cash flow, straight up. So what we have to do, y'all, is understand in a bear market, don't be scared. Just look for the inverse. Something is always going up. If they want to play that the macro don't matter, that's their problem. That doesn't change the fact that the macro sucks, right? Businesses are cutting back. Unemployment will reign. People will get laid off. Businesses are not going to grow. They're not going to take on debt. For the money system to inflate and have more capital that flows throughout the system, more money has to be created, more loans. We are a debt system. So people need to take on debt. When you raise interest rates, you're removing debt from the system. That includes margin and margin calls. So as margin calls collapse more and more cryptos, and through this crypto winter, it's going to be brutal. And you're going to be looking for utility. Who's doing what? What seems to be surviving? What do they have that's utility? Like, it has to do something. We have a narrative for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, you just send its money. It's expensive money, but it's money. You can kind of hold it. It's not going to hold its value through crypto winter. But if you get in early at the end of crypto winter, like next March, April 2023, through the 2024 halving cycle, you'll be watching it run up. And then at the end of 2025, just like last year, out. And then 2026, it'll crash, just like it's doing right now. Well, through that's what we saw. 2016 was the start. 2020 was the start of the last halving cycle. We ran up. 2021 was the top. I'm out. And now here we are in 2022. Bang, the market's falling out. It's gone. And that's going to be the way it is for the rest of this season. So your goal, and then like I said, we still have this on this side. Let's say the S&P 500, right? So I told you I bet against the S&P. I've been shorting it, and I shorted back in January. And so here we are. January is where I started shorting the S&P 500, and this is where we are. And this is what I thought, okay, I'm going to get 30% out of this play. There we are. I'm just about at but then I'm like, look, from here, started from the bottom, now we're here. If we go all the way down to this level, which I think we may go to, then we're looking at a 34% drop from this level here, back here when I saw it. 31 from the top here, down here, where I saw it to get in here. From where it was up here, started from the bottom, now we're here. Once it goes down here to the same level as that, you're looking at 36% from where I saw. And then here's a sell signal right here on June. So that's really something. So that means now that I have a sell signal, that lets me know that's going to be really bad. Really, really bad. Hold on. Where did it start? I want to see where that sell signal came out. Sell signal here. January, sell signal here, April. Had a buy signal here back in March. It rode up for a second, and then sell signal came on. And now we're falling off a cliff, and we have no other signals for the moment. So, y'all, just understand right now, the market on both sides, stock market, your crypto markets, they all need liquidity. Liquidity is getting pulled out by the Fed. The Fed is trying to crush demand. They're going to crush it. They're going to overcrush. We're looking at next year. Real estate is also slumping. So we're already seeing a cooling in the real estate market. Right. So we already have the housing market is cooling. 25% home listings cut asking prices, right? 25 of them are cutting their asking prices. Y'all saw this already. U.S. housing market. Single family landlords see likely discounts from builders. Redfin laying off hundreds. 2 days ago, Redfin, big data company for real estate, lay off hundreds as the housing market cools. Real estate cool down in Sacramento. Look close. How fast your local housing market is cooling 1 week ago. So you can see just Google's letting you know through Google News you're already seeing the craziness in that market. So again, that's real estate. A lot of real estate people getting let go. And if they're in real estate, how can you be that's your industry? What can you do in that industry? Right? You might not be you might have to pivot. Think about this. There's going to be real estate companies that need video of their properties. So you could think about that. Getting a drone license, getting drone footage, right? Being able to take videos of properties for folks so they can put it out. So helping them and charging for that. Get your services up. Create a website, do some for free so you can get some videos up. Work with an agency directly. This is things I'm going to be doing. I'm giving you game. This is the game I'll be using. Hey, cameras, music, video, media. A gross national product is media. That is our grotesque. And also the most thing that we do. What is the most things being manufactured everywhere? Look at that phone. Look at TikTok. Look at how much data we are putting out every single day. Media. An MP4 is a piece of media. A video is a piece of media. Audio is a piece of media. The gross domestic product is media. Nothing moves without sound and light. And as your physical slows the hell down, then you better start thinking how to move media for the physical, which means I would be going to property managers and saying, hey, would you like, hey, I can do like a couple of houses for you for free in this area that I see that you have houses in. If you need somebody to do it, I need to build out my portfolio. I'd like to work with you. Yeah, you're working for free. Yeah, you're using your gas. But if you can get 5 homes and you can put it on a website and you did the video and it looks really good, you can either get them A, as a client to do more for them, or B, you can use ads on Google to promote in front of companies who may want you for the area. Target the zip codes. Spend a little. Banks are letting go people. Bank layoffs are happening. Tech layoffs are happening. Real estate layoffs are happening. Truck companies are shutting down. That's another thing, y'all. Food. Our food security is crazy right now. People are buying out trucking companies. Callie says they be better off handing money out to thieves behind fuel siphoning tank damage. City trucking affordable. Trucking. No. Bankruptcy. Trucking companies, bankruptcy. 3 weeks ago, 1 day ago, they're buying someone. Freight recession is coming 3 weeks ago. Cargo trucker strike sparks worries over trade competitiveness 1 day ago. National supply chain collapse as fuel tax cut forces them fuel tax cuts forces them into bankruptcy. And then there's another thing happening, which is if you look at, I'm not going to say the word, food processing, right? I'm not going to say what's happening with them, but these guys, the food people, right, that process things for, consumption. Well, there's this thing that's happening with the F word here, what you do to spark up, all we do is spark madism, right? So that's happening, but it's happening with our food, and that's happening all over the place. It's happening across the world. There's a lot of them going on. It's kind of suspicious, but we don't want to say it's a conspiracy theory. I don't want to put on no tin hat, man. Just saying. So we got that going on. Just saying. I'm gonna turn that off because I don't want them shutting off my screen, but I just want you to know. That's kind of weirdo, right? So you've got bankruptcies, you've got those things, the food things not standing up anymore, and you've got housing thing going down. And then, by the way, I don't know if y'all know this yet, but California, in its infinite wisdom, told all of their farmers, you know what, homie? Shut that down. We don't need you doing nothing with water, my homeboy. California orders thousands of farms and cities to stop pumping water. Okay, you're telling me to stop doing my farm. Okay, what is the agriculture? What's the Cali? What is the California agriculture? What do they have? What do we get out of them? We get dairy, so that's our cows, right? Moo. Grapes. Oh, so your wine is screwed. So wine price is going up, huh? Almonds ain't expensive enough, homeboy. We now gotta raise the roof on that. Oh, so then I also got to worry about cattle and calves. So your veal and your steaks and your burgers are going to get a little bit more expensive. So your ice cream, your milk, right? Everything dealing with dairy, right? No more water. So I'm going to be looking at the stock. Like one of the reasons I've been hurrying up to get all the data and everything I've been got going on is because I need all of this data to be looking at what I need to invest in. Like, hey, I like almonds. I might need to invest in some almonds so I can buy almonds. I might need to swing this, right? Because I like almonds. I like raisins. I think they do raisins too. California raisins, right? Didn't we have the California raisins? I heard it through the grapevine, right? So they were doing that shit. So they don't want to talk about raisins now. I guess they said grapes, right? So I guess that could be considered your raisins. So yeah, so you got your raisins. So now you ain't got no raisins. We ain't got no raisin bread. We ain't got no raisin toast. My raisin toast going up. And it's bad enough. Like my raisin toast is really expensive, right? Because now you're charging me for the raisins up because that's going to be more expensive. And ain't you charging me more on wheat because you ain't growing wheat, homeboy? Right? You're not even growing wheat. With prices high and fields wet, North Dakota. Wait. That's one day ago. Hold on. What you doing in North Dakota? With prices high and fields wet, North Dakota farmer uses 2 tractor solution to plant wheat. All right, so he's planting wheat. Good. Wheat farms. I know I got to pull it out of you, Google. I get it. Boom. Wheat, soy, fall, no. Corn, soybeans, and wheat are looking good 2 days ago. Whatever. Soybeans firm after losses. Midwest weather. Wheat rose 0.8%. Farmers in Japan are moving to wheat. A solution to the wheat shortage. Yeah, because there's a wheat shortage 6 days ago. Yeah, because they can't grow it. They went to soy. They're just trying to hide it, y'all. They went to soy. They started planting soy instead of planting wheat because it was least expensive with fuel costs and everything else. And fertilizer doesn't take as much fertilizer. They don't want to talk about that because they'll be talking about your bread and everything else being more expensive. I just need y'all to see there's so much crap on the agenda that they've rolled the hell out and crap rolls downhill that I just need y'all to understand there's nothing physical under the sun that we can do except for swing in and out of these markets. Concentrate on your products, concentrate on your services, concentrate on being able to help other companies, businesses make money. Even looking at jobs, update your digital skills so that you can get into other markets and other jobs, especially in the media industry, especially in the gaming industry. You can get into the film industry. All of this can be done with those tools I showed you, Reallusion and Unreal. Learn Unreal, like go to YouTube and go Unreal 5 tutorial. You can download Unreal for free, so there's no excuse. And there you go, a beginner's tutorial from 1 year ago. And if not, if you really want to get funky, go 1 month, like give me all the ones from this month, and there you got all the new that's going on with Unreal. How to get realistic lighting, create avatar planet, right? So you can start doing some of these things and testing out your skill sets. Constructing, destroying assets, creating 90 days in Unreal Engine 5. So this is 90 days, I guess is the title of his art. Displacement tutorials. Water, fluid dynamics, glass. So like humans, metahumans. Tundra environment. Like, so that car commercials, right? Think about that. Doing car commercials, being able to do travel commercials. Creating these great scenes that you could use for your own effects shows or TV shows, manga. Like, you know how dope comics can be? Like this, y'all? Like, do you know how dope comics can be when you can, like, not draw the comic, but, like, 3D scene the comic? And then I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with dope ass cartoon shaders that you can keep the lines and make it look like it's kind of drawn. And then use that if you want to use it as plates to be able to plate up. But I'm like, why? When you can go interactive and start like building game worlds or building virtual worlds, like build a world that's in an anime or a manga that you're creating, and your manga, you have real world assets. People can view and travel into or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's in Unreal. I don't know if it's in some whatever game it's going to be or some blockchain. I don't know if it's even going to be blockchain at this point, because it's just, blockchain is just a database. All of the technology is outside of that. The only company that's kind of got that kind of thing going, and if you're interested, is Gala. I do have server there, and Gala is working on not just games and gaming. They actually launched a new contest actually. Oh wow, keep level up. So like you see these grit characters. Oh, Epic Games. What'd I just say? Epic Games is over here. I knew they were coming soon. So here you go. Walking Dead. Some more new games and new game lands. Reborn Legend. Mirandus is getting ready to lost. Whoa, is that Starship Galactica? Battlestar Galactica? Stop playing. Fortitude. So there's that. If you go to the games, Town, what is it? Town Crush is like Farmville. Spider Tanks is a game that they've got. Battlestar Galactica is coming soon. That's dope. Fortitude is already launched, so that's dope game. Grit's coming soon. So you've got like, I have a server for Gala, so I'm actually making Gala rewards through the server, and the games play through that. I have a license. So you're going to see things like this where you offer, like I tell you, machines make money. And if people are playing games and these games are dope, and I'm able to make for people earning in these worlds on my server, then bang, that's cool with me. Now haven't gotten to that place yet, but they will be getting deeper into that launch in the next few cycles, as you can see with all these games loading out. So just expect that it's coming. Just expect it. So gaming industries, Bitcoin's already have it. Like Ethereum is dope, but do we really need that? So, and then there's Engine. I still keep an eye on that. I haven't really heard anything from them recently. I haven't been keeping an eye on them. But again, another thing that has an API. It hooks to games. It hooks to Unreal. So this and Unreal, and they're working with Microsoft for digital rewards. So this has an API. This also is so that's HTTPS access. So even N8N could interact on chain with Engine. So if I wanted to, I could put my transaction on chain day one. And if I wanted to work with Unreal, now this and Unreal working together day one. So just think about how your business has changed, what media looks like, and what media businesses look like in the future, because it's changing. Right? Use your music, get utility, upload your music to CD Baby, or anyone that's going to get you mad royalties. And that's get your YouTube royalties, get your Spotify royalties. If you're not getting YouTube royalties, if they're charging you extra for YouTube royalties, move your music. Stop. You're leaving money on the table. If they're not paying you TikTok royalties, move your music to CD Baby. If you don't get it in one shot, like pay one time and you get all you can eat, every single network out there, whatever they have access to at the time, of course. If you don't get that, if you got to pay extra, if you got to pay every year, get your music off of their platforms and move it to CD Baby. Because you pay one time. Yes, it's $30. Oh, it's $30. I get all you can eat. Yes, but you don't get your YouTube. You got to pay for every single YouTube video. Now, if you have 15 songs, you got to pay for every single one of them to go up. Bruh. What if you the kind of like 19 songs on an album? Right? So think about that. One time paying, you get in there, you get YouTube plays, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Built into that ish. Stop leaving money on the table, y'all. I'm about to go. Time to eat. I am hungry. Y'all be safe out on these streets. And I'm gonna holler at y'all next week. Toxic Hustle Pro and Plus plans are gonna be coming. Toxic Hustle Plus is gonna be our monthly newsletter that'll be coming out to talk about what we're doing, like things like this, because I'm going to be deep into making music and doing all that other stuff. So a lot of what I'm doing here is going to be more behind the scenes. I'll still be releasing Toxic Thoughts because that's important for y'all to see what's going on, but it may be like once every 2 weeks, because I'm going to be focused on making sure that Toxic Hustle Pro, which is where I'm going to be trying to get marketplace stuff going to be able to start getting being able to roll out tutorials, being able to show you how I'm automating some of the processes for services, and in the future, potentially those services being able to be a payable skill set within Toxic Hustle that earns you some money. So that's what's all going on my end. I'm going to be working on data entry so I can start looking at what's going on in the markets and being able to kind of give warnings when I see certain things. So it's kind of like there's triggers that happen with data points, and I just want them to start alerting us so that we know ahead of time. So like what you see with the dip zones, I want to be notified a week or 2 weeks before a major dip zone. So if we can do that, now all of a sudden that's something that benefits you for swing trading. Because from now till I think after the next cycle, we're still going to be trapped to Bitcoin being the lead coin. And if it's going to have the majority market share, it's going to control all the markets. So you're still going to be swing trading it. It's not a buy and hodl, y'all. It's a swing. Unless the market or the Fed pivots and starts reducing interest rates again and trying to flood liquidity back into the markets to try to save it. So until then, I'm shorting the markets until there's a Powell pivot or the Fed pivots. I don't think they can. Inflation's too high. So just pivot. Think about new things you can do with tech. Think about how you can get utility with your music by putting it on CD Baby so you have multiple places to get it. Take your revenue that's coming in from that and begin to invest it in software, learning, training, education, y'all. Just flip it into being able to get serviceable skills, serviceable jobs, making sure that you write off your stuff in taxes. TurboTax, home and business. That will help you set up your offices so that you can write off your office space and all that other stuff. So this way you can write off your expenses for your internet, for your office space that's in your house. So like you can take a room or an apartment. Even if you're in an apartment, you can write off part of that even on your personal taxes. Right? So write it off on your personal taxes is how I built my business. I worked at a job and I wrote off my business expenses through my I wrote off my business expenses. And with that, and subscriptions and all that, and with that, I was able to lower my tax burden from my job. It's our job to reduce the tax burden. It's not the government's job to reduce it for you. That's why you have to act like a corporation, not an independent. You are in all caps, right? Your straw man? So your straw man's all caps, maritime type beats, right? We're still straw men, dead water if you go into the court of law. So if you are nothing more than a small asset class, straw hat type beats, then you got to be able to reduce your expenditures by saying, I act as a corporation. Here is my corporate title. I called it Toxic Hustle at the time. I started buying software. I started buying templates. I started getting clients that I was doing templates for. I was selling graphics. I was selling CD covers. I was doing all this stuff, earning money. And then instead of me paying taxes on that, anything that I was paying for, software subscriptions, all that, write it off. And that if I had way more software write-offs or all the other stuff, I had way more write-offs than necessary, even with standard deductions. Those write-offs benefit you because they'll have standard business deductions that pull out for you. So use these things to reduce your tax burden if you're deciding to get a job. And what I did was, even if I get a job, you are still self-employed. Yes, you work for the company. Yes, you might be underneath their job, but I treated it like funding. If I'm getting 50 grand or more from a company and I can live underneath that, I've got at least a few grand of funding. Or a few extra $100 a month. Or I can sit there and say all my bills are covered through my 9 to 5. And when I come home by, say, 6:30 or 7 o'clock, let's say 7, from 7 to midnight is all me to work and then go to sleep get up in the morning and get back to work. Right? So you write off these things as business expenses. And this way it reduces your job expense, the tax from your job. And that also make sure if you do have a job, that's like I said, a job for me means I got funding. So I'll have extra capital to pay my bills, my physical bills, and all the money I make in my corporation can be stacked and put into other things to generate more wealth. Whether it be buying other assets, buying other sound packs that I can use to make more different beats. Right now, buying drums. I'm gonna write off my damn drums. So just think about that. Start thinking about itemizing your stuff and then write those business expenses off. All right. So just start looking for your subscriptions, start looking for jobs that help you in the digital space. Look at what you can do with media, look what you can do with editing, whether it be video or audio. All right. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace out.